Yeah, thanks, Gareth. Orleans traveling away from the east side of the Cape for the first time this season, actually entirely off the Cape. We're here in Wareham for a big tilt against the Gatemen. What's going on? My name's Noah Searson, and we got a big episode of the Early Bird pregame show getting ready. First, I'm going to bring on Cole. We're going to recap last night's big victory against Cotuit. Then I got a short talk with Hayden Thomas. He had a big game in which he had a double in the gap, a spectacular catch, and his speed was on display. Then we're going to bring Carlo on. We're going to preview this matchup a bit, what Wareham brings to the table. They got a couple guys from Tuscaloosa that have really been integral to this team's success. And then Cole is coming back, give our keys to the game as always, and then send it off to Gareth and Carlo for the call. That's all coming up here on the Early Bird pregame show. All right, welcome in. Cole is joining me for the first time, at least for this pregame show. Of course, like I said, we're going to recap what was a very good victory for the Firebirds last night. They take down Cotuit 6-4. Very much an exciting game, Cole, but it was kind of sloppy in a lot of aspects. Firebirds put up 6 runs, but it wasn't really from their hitting. Cotuit gave them a lot of breaks in this one, Cole.
They definitely did, and they were out-hit all game long. Cotuit can definitely swing the bat. Firebirds can as well, but the pitching sort of got a little dicey in the middle innings there after both Connor Thurman and Chase DeLauder did a really nice job through the first 4. I think it's going to be a really key thing this game to sort of clean that up.
Yeah, and pitching was dicey at times, but give a hand up for Jake Somm. He had a pretty brutal outing against Chatham, but then comes back, gets the save in this one. I talked to Coach Troop after the game, and he couldn't have been saying that after Jake's rough outing against Chatham, he wanted to pitch the next day. He gets his next opportunity against Cotuit, and he definitely makes slight Cole. It opened the door for a possible pitching, a great matchup tonight. Of course, we got the starter in Hayden Thomas. Haven't seen him this season. And Michael Polk, some of those other guys that pitched on Sunday night in the opener, may be able to see them. But I'll leave that for our keys and full talk about this game. But when we're thinking about last night, this is a Firebird squad that we thought would be putting runs on the board left and right. 87 home runs combined in that first starting lineup in their collegiate seasons. But it's not something we've seen so far, especially out of that, gauntlet, or at least what we thought would be a gauntlet in Young, Locklear, and DeLauder.
Yeah, and I think, credit where credit's due, especially last night. This team really came out and manufactured their runs, which is something that really is a sign of how good of an offense you really have and how they are, is if you can manufacture runs on the days you're not hitting the ball out of the yard. And they did that. And I think those runs and those homers and those doubles are really going to come, but you just got to wait. And I think maybe tonight might be the night where they really start to put runs on the board.
Hopefully that's the case, Cole. And I know something that we've talked about a bit off air is the fact that the playoffs, they've decreased this year, only 4 spots. So we may see some more like gritty play, players not trying to hit the ball a million miles every single time they're up at the plate. Will be interesting to see if that trend continues. Cole, unfortunately, I'm going to replace you like I seemingly do on every pregame show. I'll bring you back, though, so don't worry. We're going to bring in one of our play-by-play broadcasters, Carlo Jimenez, and we're going to talk about this matchup against Wareham, a team that has been able to hit the absolute crap out of the ball, but it hasn't equated to wins in the win column. But I will spoil no more, so let's bring on Carlo to preview this matchup. Rylan, the most selfless guy out here all the time. But going back to your game real quick, how good did it feel, especially, and what kind of confidence booster was it, considering that, you had the game on Tuesday where it was a tough loss against Chatham, then or on Monday rather, you had the rain out on Tuesday that you played in. So, you had barely even played a full game, but you get the start today, number 2 spot in the lineup, and you play like this.
Yeah, to be honest, it felt great. I was looking forward to this the entire week, the first home game here for me. So I was a little disappointed about the rain out and the other game. Didn't do too well, so I was just very blessed and happy. So I loved it today, and yeah, credit to my teammates as well. They did great, not just me.
All right, and one more question for you, because I'm curious. I know we've talked before about your play in the outfield. You can cover a lot of ground, make a very spectacular catch every once in a while. You had a great catch today. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the catch and the overall look between the tumble and the collection of the ball?
I won't rate it because I don't like rating that, but I'll rate it like a 6. Cause I kind of overran the ball a little bit. I couldn't see it off the bat too well, but yeah, it felt great to make that play. So yeah, I'm happy I did it here.
All right, 6 out of 10. So it seems like there may be some more that we see this season. Rylan, thank you so much for your time. Great game tonight, and we'll see you the rest of the season. All right, that's Rylan Thomas, UFC product, of course. So I decided to bring on another USC product, Carlo Jimenez, to talk about this matchup against Wareham. And we got Hayden Thomas on the bump for the Firebirds. We'll get to him in a bit. But first, let's talk about the Gatemen. They're 1-2 on the year. Hasn't been pretty at all times, but they have been able to put runs on the board, in part due to some very great hitters out of Alabama.
Yeah, Jim Jarvis, Owen Diodati, 2 guys you're going to want to look out for today. Diodati's got 2 home runs, tied for the league early through 3 games. And this is a team, coming off a win against YD in which they put 7 on the board, able to get the offense going and get a win. Bullpen is where you might see them struggle, but it should be a good one today against the Firebirds.
Well, I think that's going to be the key for the Firebirds, what you said right there, getting to the bullpen, because Wareham, frankly, they've been terrible out of the bullpen. That's where they get lit up. That's where they let games slip by. So for Firebirds hitters, let's get to the bullpen. Might be a key for Cole or I. We'll see. But when we're talking about the Firebirds, we got Hayden Thomas on the bump. The first time we're seeing him, and when you look at his numbers from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, they don't really come off the page, but that's mostly due to the fact that he didn't get much run support. And when I talked to pitching coach Troop before the game, he said that he's got major league stuff. He's going to come to you with the fastball. He's got the spike curve, and he's got the changeup. He's got great stuff. It's all about control, and it seems like the Firebirds are going to let him roll right now. If he's rolling, from what I've heard, they'll let him go 5, which would be huge for the Firebirds setting him up in this one, Carlo.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's here for a reason. I think when guys' numbers don't jump off the page, you kind of wonder, what stuff does he have? What extra scouting is there about him? Why is he here? And so it's going to be a fun one to see, what does Thomas bring to the table? We're going to find out today. One of the few unknowns left here through 3 games.
Yeah, and we'll also maybe see some of those Sunday, Monday pitchers out of the pen. Nick Wallerstadt, Michael Polk, Jack Philby. We'll probably see some of them in the mix after Thomas. But when we're going back to this Wareham squad, we talked about the fact that they've got, some great hitters. But is there anything else we should be looking out for, Carlo, when we're looking at this matchup and could potentially pose a threat for the first time that the Orleans Firebirds are traveling out west for a matchup?
Yeah, I think the big thing for the Firebirds is going to be able to be patient in the batter's box. I mean, you mentioned it. You want to get to that bullpen early. They struck out 14 times against Chatham. It was night and day. Only struck out 5 times last night against Catuit. So if you can get long at-bats, get deep in that bullpen, I think they're going to have a great opportunity to win today.
All right, that's Carlo Jimenez. He'll be on the call with Gareth Kwok in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to let you go, get your preparation, go to the booth. I'm going to bring Cole back. We'll give you our keys and send it to the guys for first pitch. All right, I'm back. Cole Bradley is back, more importantly, and we got just a couple minutes until first pitch. So you know what that means. It's time for our keys to the game. We got a big matchup here against Wareham. So, Cole, when you're thinking about what needs to be done for a Firebirds victory, what's your key for Firebirds and that Firebirds faithful need to know?
I think it's going to be really just holding, from a pitching standpoint, holding these Wareham bats at bay. Obviously, they're coming off a big game against YD. Like Carlos said earlier, they can swing the bat. They've got some hitters in their lineup who can really do damage. And I think from a pitching standpoint for the Firebirds, it's going to be just really about being competitive in at-bats, getting quick outs, not messing around, and getting outs like they have been all season, just sticking with that, making sure that they're not veering off that.
Yeah, that's never a bad key, because if we've seen anything in these first couple games, it's that the Firebirds have kind of lived and died by how their pitching has performed. The offense hasn't been spectacular thus far, which brings me to my first key. Who's going to bring the energy for the Firebirds? And this doesn't even necessarily have to be, a big home run or anything, but you look at the weather, it's a little bit gloomy. We're playing at a wacky field. It's got rock infield. The play-by-play broadcasters, we'll see if we maybe get a photo on social media. They're in what they call a raptor cage. It's a weird, funky setup here, Cole. So somebody needs to bring the energy, whether that's somebody in the lineup, whether that's somebody in the dugout. Somebody has to bring bring the energy and bring it early on to give the Firebirds that extra boost and, hopefully come out with a victory against Wareham. That's all we got for Keys. It was another fun edition of the Early Bird pregame show. So alongside Cole Bradley, I'm Noah Searson. We're going to send it back to the guys, Gareth and Carlo, for first pitch. And this one going to be a fun matchup. So have an even better call, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Noah Searson, as we are set for Orleans against Wareham. First time this summer that Orleans has gone on the road to take on a Western Division opponent, and the Gatemen have taken the field. And let's take a look at the starting lineup here. For Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds, Jordan Sprinkle will lead off and play shortstop. Rylan Thomas from USC, he'll hit second and play center field. Connor Cox, the Long Beach State product, will hit third and play right field. Jace Young hitting cleanup, playing second. Chase DeLauder hitting fifth and being the DH. Julio Marcano will hit sixth and play left field, with Jack Moss at first base hitting seventh. Benjamin Blackwell hitting eighth, playing third, and Garrett Guillemette hitting ninth and as the starting catcher. And the starting pitcher for Orleans tonight, it's going to be the right-hander, the rising sophomore from Miami University of Ohio, Jonathan Brand. 5'9", 197 from Columbus, Georgia. Not a very big, tall guy, but in 14 appearances and 13 starts, he had a 4.90 ERA, 64 in the third innings pitched, 80 strikeouts over 38 walks. Jordan Sprinkle digs in, first pitch on the way, fastball swung on and missed. And that's how we get started at 6:44 p.m. first pitch here in Wareham. Sprinkle hitting .353, 7 home runs, 32 runs batted in on the spring at UCSB. From the windup, the right-hander throws, and a breaking ball swung on and missed, and it's quickly no balls, 2 strikes to the UC Santa Barbara shortstop, Jordan Sprinkle. Overcast skies tonight here from Wareham. It is a bit breezy as well, wind blowing out towards right center field, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. 0-2 pitch to Sprinkle. Fastball is up high for a ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jonathan Brand has a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, curveball, changeup, slider. Curveball is his best pitch. And on the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. And that's how this game gets started, with an opening strikeout from the Miami University of Ohio right-hander, Jonathan Brand. Rylan Thomas will dig in now for Orleans. Left-handed hitter from USC. Thomas on the spring, 296, 2 home runs, 25 runs batted in for the Trojans, and he waves and misses at a fastball down the middle, 0-1. Gareth Quagg alongside Carlo Jimenez here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Game 4 of this summer. 0-1 pitch, fastball bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Rylan Thomas, who had himself quite the game yesterday against Catuit. Had 2 hits, including a double in the first inning against the Kettleers. 1-1 pitch, look out. Fastball that brushes Thomas off the plate. Almost hit him by the legs. 2 balls and a strike to Rylan Thomas.
You see Jonathan Brand, Gareth, start mixing up his tempo on the mound. Sometimes he'll hold, sometimes he'll throw right away.
2-1 pitch, good breaking ball down the middle for a called strike. Now count even up at 2. The Long Beach State outfielder Connor Cox is on deck for Orleans here in the top of the first. Here's the 2-2. And a breaking ball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jonathan Brand, and there's 2 away here in the first.
Well, Noah Searson and Cole Bradley talked about it in the pregame show. Firebirds were patient against Catuit, worked out in their favor. They struck out a lot against Chatham, and they struggled, and so far 2 strikeouts through 2 batters.
Connor Cox, right-handed hitting outfielder, will dig in now against Brand. First pitch, high fly ball into right field. Underneath it is Cade Kern from Ohio State, and he makes the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3, first inning for Jonathan Brand. On we go now to the home half of the first. 0-0 score here from Wareham. We'll be right back on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HB Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red every Friday. We got the memo.
Oh, yeah.
We're wearing red. Cape Cod Baseball League would like to welcome our new sponsor, Mosquito Mary, a locally owned, family-operated business that provides all-natural mosquito and tick control services. Call 866-ASK-MARY or go to mosquitomary.com, mention the Cape Cod League, and get your first treatment for only $29.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Jimenez. And let's look now at the starting lineup for Wareham, as announced by manager Jerry Weinstein. Leading off will be Jim Jarvis. Playing second base, the rising sophomore from Alabama. Hitting second will be Cade Fergus, playing center field from George Washington University. Owen Diodati will hit third, the rising sophomore from Alabama. Hitting fourth will be Justin Williams, the third baseman from Penn State. Batting fifth will be Ted Burton, who will be the DH from Michigan University. Hitting sixth will be the Oklahoma catcher Jimmy Crooks. Hitting seventh will be Angelo Despina, rising junior from Mercer, playing first base. Cade Kern will hit eighth, the Ohio State right fielder, and then batting ninth will be the University of San Diego shortstop Cody Jeffries. And on the mound for Orleans tonight is going to be the rising junior making his first start of the summer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, Hayden Thomas. Thomas, 6'1", 190 pounds from Leander, Texas. He's a temporary player on the roster, but he was the best starting pitcher on the Islander staff this past spring. In 14 starts, he had a 4-3 record with a 3.31 ERA. In 81 2/3 innings pitched, he had 94 strikeouts over just 39 walks. And Thomas getting the call tonight. And behind him, the defense will go like this. Julio Marcano out in left field, Rylan Thomas in center, Connor Cox in right. And then in the infield, Benjamin Blackwell from Dayton University at third, Jordan Sprinkle at short, Jace Young at second base, and Jack Moss at first base, with Garrett Gillimet doing the catching for Thomas this evening. So Jim Jarvis, left-handed hitting second baseman from Alabama, shows bunt on the first pitch, and that one will bounce foul toward the Orleans third base dugout and toward the on-deck circle. No balls, one strike. And should note, for those that are wondering and those that are listening, where we are positioned here on the broadcast, we are perched up about 10 feet high on top of the Orleans dugout here on the third base side. And we are protected by some netting, as the 0-1 pitch is up high to Jarvis. 1-1 now from Thomas. And Carlo, this is quite the unique setup that we've had. I don't think we've ever done a game on top of our own team's dugout, by chance.
We're in the cage, baby.
we're in a enclosed cage here. Hopefully there'll be no foul balls our way, as 1-1 fastball down the middle for a called strike two. 1-2 now to Jarvis.
Should be noted, Gareth, you brought your glove just in case, which I think was probably a smart move looking at this netting.
I did bring my glove just in case there might be a pop-up that might come in our way, and the last thing we want is some damaged equipment here. So hopefully we'll be ready for that, as the 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground to second. Jace Young, a couple shuffles to his right, sets his feet, fires over the first in time for out number one here in the bottom of the first. So with nobody on and one out here in the bottom of the first, this will bring up now Cade Fergus, right-handed hitting center fielder from George Washington University. Thomas working from the stretch. Gets the sign at the belt. First pitch is a heater. Down the middle for a called strike. It's 0-1. Firebirds wearing their white vests with red letters and red numbers. Meanwhile, Wareham with their all-red uniforms with the Cape Cod letters and white-colored numbers and letters. Of course, part of Red Shirt Fridays, as the 0-1 fastball is a bit up high, 1-1. Red Shirt Fridays, home team wearing all reds in honor of our military, in honor of our troops who have served for us. 1-1 pitch, good breaking ball by Thomas down the middle, and the count now 1-2.
And Thomas, for a guy who hasn't pitched in a while, we're talking to Coach Shroot before the game, said, he's got the green light to go the distance. It's a good start for him. Staying ahead of batters, Trying to get a clean first inning.
Cade Fergus, wide stance. 1-2 pitch, fastball that pops out of the glove of Guillemette. Perhaps a bit outside. Looked like a pretty close pitch. Instead, now count will run to 2-2.
That's one where I think if Garrett hangs on, we might see strike 3 called.
On deck is the power hitting left fielder from Alabama, Owen Diodati, who's had an impressive start this summer on the Cape. 2-2 to Fergus. Breaking ball, good take down low. Count now full, 3-2 to Cade Fergus, who hit .299 with a couple of home runs and 25 runs batted in on the season for the Colonials. Had a great year for the team and for himself personally. 3-2 pitch. Fergus lifts a high fly ball, well hit into right center field. Cox and Thomas running out of the room, and it's gone. An opposite field home run off the bat of Cade Fergus. His first home run of the summer. And it's a 1-0 Wareham lead here in the bottom of the first.
Well, the wind is blowing out that way, Garrett. That ball just seemed to carry. Connor Cox and right ran right into the fence. He did not slow up. He looks like he's all right as he got backed up, kind of popped off that chain link fence. There's a little give to it. That ball just carried right on out of here.
1-0 Wareham as Owen Diodati now swings at the first pitch, and Lee lifts a high fly ball deep to right field. Cox doesn't even move. This ball is gone. Back-to-back home runs from the Wareham Gatemen as Owen Diodati, who I was just talking about, he was 4 for 12 with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in prior to that pitch, and now make that 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in on the summer. For the Alabama outfielder, Owen Diodati, he deposits one well over the right field fence, and it's a 2-0 Gatemen lead. Wow.
And Diodati now leads the league in home runs. Head by 2 from Caden Grice out of Chatham, and Weimer from Bourne has 2.
Justin Williams, right-handed hitting third baseman from Penn State, takes a first pitch fastball down the middle, 0-1. So Fergus with his first home run of the summer. Only his second at bat, so he's 2 for 2 on the summer. And now Diodati with his third home run of the summer. Williams takes a 0-1 fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and now it's 0-2 to Justin Williams. Middle of the order for the Nittany Lions this past season, who made most of his starts at third base. 0-2 pitch, topped over the middle. Shallow hit. Sprinkle has to charge it, throws on the run, and it's too late, and the ball gets away from Jack Moss, the first baseman. Ball will roll out toward that side netting and that fence out there. And this should go as an infield hit for Justin Williams on a ball that was just not hit very hard, a little slow roller over the mound. And Sprinkle had to make a tough play, but instead it's going to be an infield hit.
Now Hayden Thomas would love a ground ball up the middle here, try to get out of this inning as quick as possible.
Ted Burton now, rising sophomore from the University of Michigan. First pitch from Thomas, swing and a miss on a hard fastball, 0-1.
Williams doesn't have great speed over at first base, only stole 1 base in his collegiate season at Penn State.
0-1 with Williams his lead at first. The pitch. Good fastball on the outer half. It's called a strike 2, 0-2 now. Burton, who hit .342 with 7 home runs and 28 runs batted in on the spring for the Wolverines. Wearing his Michigan helmet. 0-2 pitch is outside, ball 1. So Hayden Thomas, who over his final 3 outings of the collegiate season, all went 7 innings, and he averaged over 100 pitches, giving up not more than 2 runs. And already here in his first appearance, he's given up at least 2. Breaking ball on the 1-2 pitch, just a bit inside, not by much. And Thomas wondering where that pitch was as he asked the home plate umpire. May have been just a bit in tight. It's 2-2 now.
And Garrett Guillemette, the catcher, also asking.
2-0 Gatemen on solo home runs here in the bottom of the first. 2-2 pitch upstairs. ball 3. And Hayden Thomas needs a ground ball here to try and get out of this inning and limit the damage. Full count pitch. Williams with his lead at first. He's running. The pitch is outside for ball 4. And now runners on second and first here with 1 out. And now this will bring up the left-handed hitting catcher from the University of Oklahoma, Jimmy Crooks.
Well, Williams, after sliding into second base here, the gravel at Wareham, the front of the jersey is now pretty much completely gray. I mean, he just stained that red and white uniform.
That's the one thing about Spillane Field here. It's not your traditional brown dirt infield. It's a gray gravel, gray-colored gravel. As Crooks on the first pitch, fastball outside corner called strike, gets 0-1. Crooks on the year for the Sooners, 287, 10 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Williams at second, Burton at first, the 0-1. Fastball, that one a bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hayden Thomas, who is familiar with the Firebirds organization, he did make 1 start with Orleans in 2019 against Chatham on August 1st, and he did pitch 4 1/3 scoreless innings. 1-1 is a swing and a tapper. That is going to be foul as Guillemette will collect it outside of the batter's box. And the count will go to 1-2.
Well, this is the exact kind of situation that Noah and Cole talked about in the pregame. You know, a gloomy Friday, not a lot of energy. Warm-ups were pretty dead. Music wasn't loud. And all of a sudden, the Gatemen have 2 runs on the board, and Orleans is on their heels, not even through an inning.
Thomas gets the sign, a look over at second. And now he will fake a move over to second and force Williams back to second.
He's really worried about Williams over there, who stole a base last summer and also caught stealing 3 times. And on that last play, when he started to run, he was out by a mile.
1-2 the pitch. Fastball just outside. That's a good miss. Orleans dugout saying good miss. It was not by much, and that was the issue again from yesterday against Katuitt at home at Eldridge Park. Home plate umpire John DiGiolamo had a very tight strike zone. And it really affected both teams with how they were pitching. 2-2. Crooks sends one out into center field. Shallow hit. Thomas running in, and he's going to make the catch, and they're going to have a double play. Thomas throws the ball into second. Young catches it, and he taps on second for the double play. Justin Williams thought that ball was going to get down. He was already past third, and instead, Thomas makes the running catch and throws out and doubles off Williams at second for the inning-ending double play. Once again, nice defense from the USC outfielder. And so after 1, Gatemen lead 2-0 here on a couple of home runs, one by Cade Fergus and another one by Owen Diodati. But first now, let's go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, with a report. Noah.
Property. Thanks for keeping us in compliance.
We can't hear you. You can hear us.
All right, apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll try and reach out to Noah next half inning. But nevertheless, 2-0 Gatemen as we are in the top of the second now. A solo home run off the bat of Cade Fergus and another one off of Owen Diodati.
How big, though, Gareth, is that play from Ryland Thomas? In an inning that seemed destined to go long, Thomas able to track down a baseball in center. And his past 2 ball games, he has really impressed for Orleans. We talked about the big game yesterday in pregame. And then a catch to double up Williams. And Hayden Thomas bailed out by a poor mental error by Wareham. And he has a chance to go out there and sit in the second with just a 2-0 disadvantage.
Yeah, big play by Thomas. He had a nice running catch yesterday to take away extra bases against Katuitt. And again, so the double play made by Rylan Thomas to Jace Young, 8-4, is able to get Thomas out of what would have been a very sticky inning if that ball may have gotten down. And nevertheless, now Jace Young will dig in, and he get the inning now for Orleans here in the top of the second. Down 2. First pitch from Brand. Breaking ball down the middle, called strike. 0-1 to the Texas Tech second baseman, Jace Young.
Let's see if that catch by Thomas sparks this Orleans Firebirds team.
0-1 pitch, fastball outside corner, called strike 2. Quickly 0-2 now to the left-hand hitting Young, who had a monster year offensively for the Red Raiders this spring. 337, 21 home runs, 67 runs batted in. He takes a high fastball, 1-2. It's Young, DeLauder, and Marcano, 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Firebirds, due up against Jonathan Brand, who pitched a 1-2-3 first inning to begin the game. From the windup, 1-2 pitch, breaking ball popped up in the shallow right field. The second baseman, Jarvis, will call off the first baseman, Despina, and he makes the catch to his left for out number 1.
I don't know if it's where we're sitting, Gareth, or if it's the way this field is set up, but it just feels like everything is on top of each other here. That bloop shot looked like it was down the line and barely got out of the infield.
Now the power hitting Chase DeLauder will stand in now for Orleans. First pitch, fastball, bit outside, ball 1. DeLauder on the spring for the James Madison, 386, 6 homers, 21 runs batted in. Takes a 1-0 fastball way outside, and should mention that Brand is working incredibly fast. He gets that ball right back from the catcher and is already back on the rubber. 2-0. DeLauder takes a called strike on the inside corner. Ooh. That one looked like it may have been a bit too inside. Instead, Brand gets the call. 2-1. 2-1 pitch. DeLauder swings and pops one up in the shallow left field. Shortstop calling everybody off. Makes the catch while backpedaling to his left. Out number 2 here in the top of the second.
The left fielder, number 7, Julio Marcano from New Jersey Tech.
So Julio Marcano will stand in now for Orleans. Marcano for New Jersey Institute of Technology this spring, 322, 10 homers, 42 runs batted in. Takes ball 1 inside, 1-0. Marcano this summer, 1 for 7, his one hit, a solo home run on opening night. On Father's Day, swings at the 1-0 and fouls it back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He did play shortstop in yesterday's contest for a half inning. Didn't come up to bat, though.
1-1, Brand from the windup. And the fastball just under the knees for ball 2, 2-1. Wareham 2, Orleans nothing. We're in the top of the second. Hayden Thomas surrendering a couple of solo home runs to the 2 and 3 hitters of Wareham. And that's how Wareham has an early lead. 2-1 pitch. Marcano lifts a high pop-up toward our direction here. And this is going to go out of play into the bleachers along the third base side.
I just like to say that Gareth Clark, while calling that play, put his glove on and almost made that catch.
No,
that
no,
was
no.
impressive.
No, that ball was not close.
You were talking and putting the glove on right.
That ball was at least another, I'd say, 40 feet behind us, but it was in the direction. 2-2 pitch. Marcano, a little soft looper in the shallow left field, diving catch, and coming in to make the play is Diodati on a soft liner in the left field. Diodati got a great jump off the bat, and he makes the play to retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning thrown by Brand. We're through 2.5, I should say. And it's a 2-0 Wareham lead as we head to the bottom of the second. Let's now go to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, for an update. Noah.
You know, as the Firebirds head back onto the field, it can't be understated that they got to pay attention to the wacky dimensions here at Spillane Field. We've got a field goal post literally in left field, but more importantly, no warning track in the outfield. And we saw on that Cade Fergus home run, it was an absolute bomb. But Connor Cox did not know that the wall was coming and had a hard collision into the wall. Luckily for Firebirds fans, he got up quickly, but this means that they got to have better communication in the outfield. It's on Hayden Thomas, it's on Julio Marcano, it's on all three outfield. They got to be communicating when that wall is coming, because the last thing you want in a league that's predicated on showcasing talent is for somebody to get injured. So a hard lesson learned in that first inning among 2 runs was running into the wall for Connor Cox. Hopefully they kind of talked about that a bit in between innings, and then communication will be a bit better in this one. But sending it back to you guys for this half inning of baseball.
All right, thanks so much for that, Noah. And, yeah, we should have mentioned earlier Connor Cox, who ran into that fence, and like Noah talked about, there's no warning track here at Spillane Field, and so it can be for those guys that have been used to knowing where the wall is and getting a feel for where their sense of direction is. No warning track at all. Cox ran straight into the fence, and luckily he's okay. But meanwhile, for Hayden Thomas, he's going to face the bottom of the order. Well, he'll try to bounce back here with a solid second inning. Angelo Despina, left-handed hitting first baseman from Mercer, takes or swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Despina, 266, 15 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. He was way late on the 0-1 fastball from Thomas, and the count now 0-2.
Fastball. Hayden Thomas not messing around in this at-bat. He is going right at this Wareham hitter, Despina.
Despina, a rising junior, getting the nod at first base tonight. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight fastballs pounded right past the left-handed hitting Despina for out number 1 as Hayden Thomas picks up his first strikeout of the night.
Thomas has those 4 pitches, Gareth. I think sometimes when you have such a big arsenal, guys try to do a little too much, especially with so many scouts. Sometimes the best way to get an out is just to keep it simple.
Right-handed hitting right fielder Cade Kern takes a first pitch breaking ball right down the middle for strike 1. 0-1 to Kern. The rising sophomore from the Ohio State University. 6 feet, 195 pounds. Swings at the 0-1 pitch and fouls it down the right field line, out of play. And the count will now go to 0-2 now. Kern on the season for the Buckeyes, 325, 2 home runs, 30 runs batted in. He was a true freshman, and he was Ohio State's best hitter this season as a first-year player. Very impressive for Kern. 0-2 pitch, line drive into left field, and making the catch out in left field to his right is Julio Marcano for out number 2.
Marcano, regularly a middle infielder with NJIT, but getting some time in left today. And made a nice play on a hard-hit ball. Looked like an everyday left fielder.
Here now is Cody Jeffries. Rising junior and the shortstop from the University of San Diego. First pitch to left-handed hitting Jeffries is a fastball downstairs, ball 1. Jeffries for the Toreros this spring, 341, a home run with 32 runs batted in on the spring. Had a breakout year for the team, for him and for the team this year. 1-0 pitch, fastball inside, 2-0 now. As Hayden Thomas will step off the rubber and go and touch the rosin bag. Two down, nobody on. Wareham 2, Orleans nothing here as Thomas misses low and in for ball 3, 3-0. Orleans coming into this game with a record of 2-1 after a nice victory yesterday at home against Catuit. Meanwhile, Wareham with a record of 1-2 and trying to get back to 500 tonight. 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball on the inside corner. Strike 1 called. 3-1 now. With Jim Jarvis in the top of the order for Wareham on deck. Thomas at the belt. 3-1. Good fastball again. At the knees, a called strike 2. It's now 3-2. So far, Hayden Thomas not afraid to use that fastball that he has, and it sits around the low 90s. 3-2. Defense has to be ready. The pitch, and a swing and a foul off to the left and toward the Wareham Middle School. That is adjacent to us on the third base side. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes. Jeffries way back in the batter's box. 3-2 again. Swing and a foul back to the screen. And we'll do it again. 3-2. Jeffries, who was an all-WCC second-team selection, he hit .231 in 2020, and he hit .267 in 2019, who hit .341 here in 2021. 3-2 pitch, swing and a foul. Back to the backstop, and so far he's picking up the fastball from Hayden Thomas, albeit hasn't been able to put it in play just yet, but he's not missing by a whole lot.
He is making Hayden work in this at-bat. Good thing for the Firebirds is Hayden Thomas doesn't really have that short of a leash. He is good to go 5 innings. So for Thomas, don't worry about the pitch count, win the battle.
3-2. Another fastball, another swing back to the backstop, and it's another 3-2 pitch on the way. There's not a whole lot of side netting to protect really the fans out here in Wareham. There's actually plenty down the right field line, and there's some off to the third base side, but it's 3-2. And Thomas loses Jeffries as he throws a high fastball for ball 4. So a really impressive at bat for Cody Jeffries. Had to fight off a ton of fastballs thrown his way before eventually being able to take ball 4.
10 pitch at bat between Thomas and Jeffries. And Jeffries at first keeps the second inning alive.
Lineup card flip now. Jim Jarvis, another left-handed hitter from the University of Alabama. He stands in. Jeffries with his lead at first. And the first pitch is fastball inside, ball 1. Jarvis, who was the starting shortstop for Alabama this season, and he also played a little bit of third and second. He's a versatile infielder for the Crimson Tide. 1-0. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jarvis, who rolled out to second back in the first inning to Jace Young. Jarvis with only 16 strikeouts in 173 at-bats, which is the fewest amongst Alabama starters. 1-1. Another fastball, just a bit inside. Count now 2-1.
And Hayden Thomas is just missing on a lot of these pitches.
It's another tight strike zone, as we've seen early on in this one. 2-1 to Jarvis. The pitch. Breaking ball that time. Pulls the string and catches the outside corner. Count now 2-2. So finally, Thomas, who has thrown a lot of it's been a heavy dose of fastballs so far, and that time he was able to pull the string. 2-2. Jeffries, at first, he does have average speed. 2-2 pitch, swing, foul, lined just behind us, third base dugout, and onto the roof of the adjacent building, and middle school. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Jarvis has choked up on the bat considerably. He's choked up on the bat at least 1.5 inches. 2-2. Thomas throws. Fastball right down the middle. Strike 3 called. Hayden Thomas with a couple of strikeouts in the second. He gives up the 2-out walk, but nothing doing. A nice bounce back inning for the Texas A&M Corpus Christi right-hander. On we go now to the third. Wareham 2, Orleans nothing. We'll be right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap. How about that?
I didn't know that.
Just 6. Your Orleans Firebirds would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite baseball team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jimenez. We're now in the top of the 3rd inning. Wareham 2, Orleans nothing. Wareham with a solo home run by Cade Fergus, pardon me, their number 2 hitter, and then Owen Diodati. Next man up, back-to-back home runs off Hayden Thomas in the bottom of the 1st, and it's given them a 2-0 advantage here as we enter the top of the 3rd. Orleans is hitless through 2 at the plate, and we'll try and send the bottom of the order to change that. Jack Moss, Benjamin Blackwell, and Garrett Gillimet dude up here against Jonathan Brand, out for his 3rd inning of work. 7, 8, and 9 hitters dude up against the right-hander Brand. First pitch from Jack Moss is high and inside, ball 1. Jack Moss, who just committed to Texas A&M back on Wednesday, announced it on his social media platforms, takes a 1-0 pitch down low, and that will be called a ball, 2-0. So congratulations to Jack for the next step in his college career. 2-0 pitch to left-hand hitting first baseman, and he swings and rolls one softly to first. Able to collect it is Despina, and he'll take it to first himself for the unassisted putout. 1 away here in the top of the 3rd.
Third baseman, number 11, Ben Blackwell.
So Jonathan Brand, who this spring, again, had a 4.90 ERA, but he has shown in the past what he can do on the mound. Had a 1.32 ERA back in 2020 in the shortened COVID season as he throws ball 1 to the right-handed hitting Benjamin Blackwell from the University of Dayton. There's only 13 2/3 innings. It was a 1.32 ERA, and batters hit just 128 against him. Blackwell takes a 1-0 pitch down low in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. However, this season in 2021, Brand struggled. He gave up a run in every single outing except 2 versus Kent State and Eastern Michigan. Blackwell, 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. He was swinging for the fences there. It's 2-1.
Brand was kind of a guy who had it on or had it off. He gave up multiple home runs in 2 outings.
2-1 fastball elevated and swung on and missed by Blackwell. And the count will go to 2-2 now to Benjamin Blackwell. Blackwell, who hit .349, 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in for the Flyers this spring. 2-2 breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Blackwell down looking. And for Jonathan Brand, that is strikeout number 3 on the night. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 3rd.
And Brand with an opportunity to go 9 up, 9 down to open up this ball game in what is on paper one of the more dangerous lineups in the Cape.
Right-hand hitting catcher Garrett Gillimet stands in. First pitch, another good changeup down the middle, 0-1. Gillimet, who hit .299, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in on the spring for the Trojans. 0-1 pitch. And wow, what a breaking ball, and that just completely baffled Gillimet. He broke down his swing. It's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Brand mixed up his rhythm there, and I think it caught Gillimet off guard.
0-2 pitch from Brand. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Garrett Gillimet. 4 strikeouts for Brand. 9 up, 9 down. He's perfect through 3. We'll head to the home half of the 3rd here from Spillane Field in Wareham. It's Gatemen 2, Firebirds nothing here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom three here from Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. Gareth Kwok alongside Carlo Jimenez on the Birds Broadcast Network. So glad you can join us here for Game 4 of 39. And we had the rain out back on Tuesday against Harwich. So, again, no makeups, no reschedules for any games that are canceled due to rain. So Firebirds now, the most amount of games that they can play is 39. And they're off to a good start. 2 wins and 1 loss so far this week. And Hayden Thomas remaining in the game for the Firebirds. He'll be out there for his 3rd inning as the starting pitcher for Orleans. And he will now face the part of the order that really troubled him back in the first. 2, 3, and 4 hitters, beginning with Cade Fergus. First pitch is spiked in the dirt for ball 1. It was Cade Fergus, the number 2 hitter, who hit a solo home run over the right center field wall. And then Owen Diodati that hammered one way over the right field wall the next at bat, and has given the Gatemen a 2-0 advantage here as we are in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 fastball is up high above the letters to Fergus. Count now 2-0. Thomas working from the stretch. The 2-0. Fastball inside. Ooh, that one looked pretty good from our vantage point here. Again, on top of the Orleans third base dugout here at Spillane Field. And it's 3-0. Thomas. Fastball right down the middle. 3-1 now. So Fergus, who hit .299 this spring, had a nice bounce back year after hitting just a .192 in the 2020 season in 15 games. 3-1. And Fergus sends one out to right field, hit pretty well. Cox drifting back near the wall, and he's going to make the catch just shy of the wall. So Cade Fergus showing some of that opposite field power. That time he was just short of what would have been his 2nd home run of the ball game.
Yeah, wind died down a little bit. Also good to note, Connor Cox had his hand out, ready for that wall. He did not take a fistful of a face full of chain link fence like he did last time a ball was lifted his way.
Owen Diodati, left-handed hitting left fielder from Alabama. First pitch is a fastball, and he went around, says the home plate umpire. 0-1. Diodati, already 3 home runs this week to start off his summer on the Cape. Can't do much better than that. 0-1. Another fastball, outside corner, called a strike. And Thomas is ahead now, 0-2. So Thomas has had to be a little bit more careful now against Diodati, as Diodati was able to just tee off on the first pitch fastball back in the first. Now Thomas is ahead, 0-2. We'll see what he does here. With Justin Williams on deck. 0-2 pitch, spikes a breaking ball in the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher Guillemette out in front. And the count now 1-2. Diodati, who hit the 2nd most home runs and drove in the 2nd most runs batted in on the Crimson Tide this spring. Chokes up on the bat, and awaits the 1-2, and he pokes it foul back to the backstop and stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Decent crowd on hand here at Spillane Field. Fans on the grandstand bleachers out along the first base line and along the third base line, and there are just a handful of those in attendance out in the left field bleachers. 2-1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes. Says third base umpire on the outside fastball. Strikeout number 3 on the night for Hayden Thomas, and Diodati goes down swinging for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And a big 2 outs to open up the 3rd. The 2 guys who hit solo home runs, Thomas able to retire. That's got to feel good for him working the 2nd time through this lineup.
The right-handed hitting third baseman from Penn State, Justin Williams, stands in now and awaits the first pitch. It's a breaking ball just outside for ball 1. Kelly Nicholson telling his pitcher, Thomas, good idea, good idea. 1-0 to Williams, who singled back in the first. Takes a 1-0 fastball right down the pipe. It's 1-1. Williams reached aboard on an infield hit. Just a soft ground ball over the head of Thomas, the pitcher, and he was able to beat out the throw from Jordan Sprinkle, the shortstop for Orleans. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase at a breaking ball that just nosedived beyond the knees, or below the knees, I should say. And the count now 1-2. Thomas ahead again. If Thomas can get Williams out here, this would be his best inning by far. 1-2 pitch. Fastball up high. And that looked like it has a little extra oomph on that one. 2-2 now to Justin Williams. Orleans nothing, Wareham 2 here. As we're in the last of the third on the road on this Friday night from Wareham. 2-2 pitch. Williams takes one right down the middle. A fastball for strike 3 called. Hayden Thomas with 3 innings in, and he has 4 strikeouts. And Orleans now has to do its part on offense. So we will head to the top of the 4th, and we'll try and get our sideline reporter Noah Sears in for a quick conversation with the manager of the Orleans Firebirds, Kelly Nicholson. And so we'll try and await Kelly. But so far, Firebirds hitless through 3 innings. They need a spark on offense. They've gone down in order all 3 times. And so they are looking to try and get that going with the top of the order. Our sideline reporter Noah Sears in awaiting Kelly Nicholson, who's giving a quick little conversation. He's having a quick little conversation with his players in the dugout. Jonathan Brand, though, has taken the hill again. He's back out for his 4th inning, and can't see why not, given how well he has pitched. 3 perfect innings with 4 strikeouts on the night. And so we'll try and get head coach Kelly Nicholson on our broadcast later tonight. But for now, let's now go to my main man, Carlo Jimenez. He's back on the play-by-play. Carlo, it's all yours.
Appreciate it, Garrett. Top of the 4th we go. Wareham and Orleans. And the 2 solo home runs in the first inning. The difference so far, 9 up, 9 down. The first time through for Jonathan Brand, so he stays out there. And I'll start with the right-handed batter, Jordan Sprinkle. Sprinkle struck out his first time up. First pitch to him. And he takes a strike at the knees. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Sprinkle 2 for 11 on the year. 0-1 in there on the outside, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Firebirds looking for a spark. Still have yet to have a base runner today. The 0-2 on its way. Misses outside, says home plate umpire, and the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sprinkle. Sprinkle, Thomas, and Cox. And the top of the 4th inning. 2-0 Gatemen lead over the Firebirds here in Wareham. 1-2. Misses low. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gloomy day here at Wareham. Lights are starting to turn on, but there's cloud cover. Can't see where the sun is if it's out. 2-2. Skips in, and Sprinkle works 0-2 to 3-2 to open up the 4th. Firebirds would love to get a runner aboard and start to get the offense going after quick 1-2-3 against Jonathan Brand, who has got his stuff going. He kicks high, 3-2. Misses high, and Jordan Sprinkle works himself aboard with a walk. And for the first time tonight, the Firebirds have a runner aboard.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen a real disciplined at-bat against Jonathan Brand. And Brand, give him credit. He's been really fooling these Orleans hitters with a hard fastball and some good off-speed, able to get them out front. He's been able to change up his tempo on the mound. But here you got speed on the base pass, chance for Orleans to answer.
Lefty Ryland Thomas in, looks at a first pitch, ball away. Thomas showed bunt, pulled it back. Sprinkle leads at first base, headed to Team USA in about a week. His past season with UC Santa Barbara, he stole 26 bases, was only caught 5 times, so he has terrific speed on the base paths. Thomas also good speed at the plate. 1-0. Swinging a broken bat looper right towards the shortstop Jeffries on the back pedal. He makes the catch deep in the gravel. And there's 1 away. A little bloop shot on the broken wooden bat. And there's 1 out and 1 on. 1 on. Wareham leading Orleans 2-0, top of the 4th. Up comes Connor Cox, right-handed batter. flew out to right his last time up. Sophomore out of Long Beach State waves the bat at the belt and looks towards Brand. A toss back to first, and back is Sprinkle with a head first slide. Sprinkle not wearing a sleeve on that right arm. It's gotta hurt when you're sliding on this black gravel at Wareham. And unfortunately, his all-white uniform now dirtied up. First pitch home, Sprinkle running. The pitch is high, the throw to second's on time, but the tag applied late, and Sprinkle steals second base. Oh, that was awfully close.
Sure was. I think he just got that foot ahead of the tag in the throw. It was a pretty good throw from the catcher, Crooks, on a one-hop, and it was right at the feet of Sprinkle. But again, I think he just got it in there by a split second.
So runner in scoring position and an opportunity for Orleans to get on the board. Top of the fourth, Wareham 2, Orleans nothing. Pitch to Cox, and he swings and flies one down the right field line over towards the hitting cages. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind has died down. It was blowing strongly out to right field in the first couple of innings. Sprinkle with a lead at second after his walk and a stolen base. Connor Cox trying to bring a run home and put the Firebirds on the board here at Wareham. 1-1, Sprinkle running again. Ball is downstairs. The throw into third, not in time. Jordan Sprinkle, double steal. His second of the inning, and now he's 90 feet away.
I really like what Sprinkle did there. He's timing the look, and he's timing the rhythm of what Brand is going to do on the mound. He kept shuffling, and then he just went as soon as he made his first move, and he got a huge jump and was able to beat that throw out.
Now a sacrifice fly in play, 2-1. Cox looks at a strike, just catches the outside part of the zone. A little late of a call. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kelly Nicholson loves to run. That's why he loves guys like Jordan Sprinkle. At terrific speed, and he steals 180 feet, looking for 90 more to put Orleans on the board. Wareham 2, Orleans nothing. 2-2, swinging a foul straight back. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the fourth, Gatemen put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first after solo home runs on back-to-back pitches. Cox looks on, eyes Jonathan Brand, who had retired in 9 in a row. Before giving up the walk to Sprinkle, who now leads at third. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Jeffries, the shortstop, takes it on the second hop. He'll go to first in time to beat Cox, but coming home is Jordan Sprinkle, and Orleans on the board in the top of the fourth, thanks to some nice base running by the leadoff man.
Good at bat from Connor Cox. He does the job. Again, it's not the flashy play by any means, but hey, it's small ball, and it cuts the lead in half, and this game has gotten a lot more interesting now.
So Jace Young, the lefty, into the box. He looks at a first pitch strike. Base is empty. 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Orleans on the board. Wareham leading 2-1. Classic Kelly Nicholson run there. 0-1. Playing small ball with the fast guys. The 0-1 misses low. The count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Sprinkle with terrific speed. A close play at second, but Garrett, it wasn't close at third. He stole that base easily.
Oh, yeah, he's got excellent speed. One of the fastest guys on the team. Him and Rylan Thomas up there.
1-1. Misses low again. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. So Jonathan Brand, who looked unhittable for the first 9 batters, had struck out 4. Nobody had reached. And now Orleans with a run in, and Chase Young ahead of the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Top 4, Wareham 2, 2-1. Swinging a bloop shot down the left field line. Over towards the corner, and it lands foul. There's a goalpost here at Splain Field down the left field line that's technically in the field of play. There, and that ball almost hit the goalpost.
This is what happens when you play at a middle school. You got the grandstand, the bleachers, the one side on down the left field line, or I guess no, it's over the left field fence, and then you have the other side here that is along the first base side, and you got goalposts here. One in the field of play, one that's behind the fence. It's definitely a very quirky setup here in Wareham.
2-2 to Jace now as Jonathan Brand wants to run through the signs again. 2-2 on its way. Young swings, just gets the end of it, fouls it back. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jace Young so far 3 for 12 on the season, 3 RBIs for the Firebirds. Was quiet in the last game against Katuitt, 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. 2-2 from Brand. Misses inside. And the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes, so a full count to Chase Young. Chase DeLauder on deck, the designated hitter, who's got one of the 2 home runs on the season for the Firebirds. 3-2. Swing and a loop shot into center field, going back to center fielder Fergus, and on the back pedal, he makes the catch. That will do it for the top of the 4th. 1 walk, 1 run comes across as Jordan Sprinkle steals 180 feet, and the Firebirds capitalize. Let's go back to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, with head skipper Kelly Nicholson.
Thanks, Cardlow. I'm on the sidelines here with Skip. And Skip, you scratch 1 across right there. But before that half inning, you were kind of talking to your squad, seeming to want to inject a bit of life, a little energy into the squad. What was your message to the team?
I was just talking to the pitchers a little bit about, as well as we pitched last night, we only threw 5 changeups. And we were just talking about how effective the changeup is in this game. You know, you just saw that, you know, Rylan Thomas broke his bat on a changeup. And it's just a really hard pitch to hit and time. You know, hitting's timing and pitching is disrupting that timing. So that's all we were talking about.
Well, and right now, Hayden's going out for inning number 4. Struggled a little bit at the beginning, but seems to have settled in since then. What have you seen in innings 2 or 3 that has impressed you since then?
Yeah, his command has been good. His stuff has been good. He's been locating well. He's at 64 pitches, so this will probably be his last inning.
All right, that's all I got, Kelly. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Noah.
Noah Searson always getting the inside scoop. Thanks so much, Noah. He seems to get great information, Garrett.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about Kelly Nicholson said they don't pitching staff yesterday threw only 5 changeups. That was a nice little bit there, and I think that's exactly true to what Kelly's been talking about, is how effective it is to have a repertoire, not just do fastball slider, but if you incorporate a changeup, you incorporate more breaking balls into your mix, and you just become a way better pitcher and more effective pitcher.
So up comes the right-handed batter, Ted Burton, the sophomore out of Michigan, to open up the bottom of the 4th. First pitch on its way, and in there for a strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Burton. Burton, a designated hitter, walked in the 1st. One of the best players coming into this season on this Wareham team. Was all Big Ten first team at second base. 0-1, look out, shaves him off the inside, and the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Guy who kind of battled back into the starting lineup, missed out with a non-COVID illness in the beginning of the year, and was able to work himself to that second base position. 1-1, swing and a miss. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Initially started the season at third base, where he made 11 errors when he first showed up to Michigan. Moved to second base, where he's been a lot more comfortable. 1-2 to the righty. Swing and a miss, and there's strikeout number 5 for Hayden Thomas, and the 3rd strikeout in a row to this Wareham Gatemen lineup.
And he just pounded Burton with a lot of fastballs, and it's really becoming that go-to pitch right now. And it's funny because that was the pitch that Fergus and Diodati hit homers off of, but now he's been able to command it better and to get ahead.
Lefty Jimmy Crooks into the box. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it up the middle. Sprinkle diving to his left. The shortstop makes the glove play. Throw to first in time. Jordan Sprinkle stealing bases and stealing hits. And there's 2 away in the top of the 4th.
Talk about injecting some momentum into the Orleans dugout. That's a heck of a play by Jordan Sprinkle. To his left, all-out dive. And fortunately, Crooks doesn't run that well, but boy, an impressive play nevertheless from Jordan Sprinkle, who already scored the first run in the game. Now a heck of a defensive play, and man, this could maybe be something if the Firebirds can get back into this dugout without giving up a run here.
So quickly, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Wareham 2, Orleans 1, and it's Angelo Despina. Lefty looks at a first pitch, strike. And the count, no balls and 1 strike, 2-1. Kelly Nicholson said this is probably it for Hayden Thomas, but Gareth, he might have a 7-pitch outing.
Yeah, let's see. There is some activity in the bullpen.
0-1. Swinging a little cue shot off the end of the bat towards the Wareham dugout. Gatemen scored 2 in the bottom of the 1st on back-to-back solo home runs. Firebirds pushed a run across in the top of the 4th thanks to a Connor Cox RBI ground out that scored Jordan Sprinkle, who just took away a hit from Jimmy Crooks on what is the best defensive play we've seen this season infielder for the Orleans Firebirds. 0-2, strike 3 at the knees. Down goes Despina, and that will do it. A bottom of the 4th with 2 strikeouts and a gem from Jordan Sprinkle. We will head to the 5th. Orleans within 1 with a lot of momentum. Trailing Wareham 2-1.
Hi, I'm Steve Anzoni, owner of Fairway Financial and Cape Cod's Retirement Income Specialist. If you want to hit a home run with your retirement income plan, schedule a time to meet with me today.
Get more details at fairwayfinancial.net. That's fairwayfinancial.net.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. The Wareham Gatemen leading the Orleans Firebirds 2-1. As we open up the top of the 5th, it will be Chase DeLauder, Julio Marcano, and Jack Moss. New pitcher on the mound for the Gatemen. It's Matt Swanson, the right-hander out of Lehigh. Gareth, what can you tell us about the 6'5", 230 pitcher?
Yeah, he's from Hawthorne Woods, Illinois. He's a big, tall right-hander, and he's coming off by far his best year at Lehigh as their Saturday starter with a 2.30 ERA. And in 12 starts, he had thrown 70 1/3 innings pitched, 65 strikeouts over 24 walks. And you're going to see a guy that just has a lot of really good, solid command. And he was on that Lehigh team that won the Patriot League regular season for the first time since 2006. So they're hoping that after what Brand did, really solid 4 innings. I mean, you can't discredit that. That Swanson can do the same.
Yeah, Brand didn't give up a hit in his 4 innings. The Firebirds, a lot of momentum thanks to their leadoff man, Jordan Sprinkle, and can Chase DeLauder, the lefty, continue that in the top of the 5th. Wareham 2, Firebirds 1. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. DeLauder chases a fastball, and the count, no balls, 1 strike. Chase 2 for 8 on the season. Popped out to short his last time up. 0-1. Misses inside. Strike on the inside. Late call by the ump. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. A gloomy day here at Splain Field in Wareham, and the Firebirds looking for a win against this West Division opponent. 0-2 in the dirt. Count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Their first road game all the way out here to Wareham. Quite the journey across the bridge. And looking to make it worth it. Currently trailing 2-1. 1-2. Misses low. And the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chase DeLauder.
Yeah, Swanson's fastball is right around low to mid-90s. He's going to throw a slider and has a good changeup, too. That's probably his best pitch.
2-2 to DeLauder. Miss it. Strike 3 on the inside. DeLauder backed up, but that pitch found the zone. And there's 1 away in the top of the 5th. Garrett, did that look in the strike zone to you?
Yeah, it was close, but I thought that was a little bit inside too. But the strike zone has been a little bit all over the place.
1 out. It's the righty Julio Marcano takes the ball away, and the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Wareham 2, Firebirds 1. Gatemen leading Orleans. Top of the 5th, 1 out and the base is empty. Marcano lined out to left his last time up. 1-0 in there for a strike. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Marcano robbed of a hit by Diodati in left. As he taps the plate once. 0 for his last 8 is Julio Marcano after a home run in his first at-bat at Eldridge on Sunday. And looking for a hit here. Firebirds trying to even this game up. 1-1. Low for a ball. And the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind picking up a little bit, blowing out to right. Fans starting to fill in a little more at Spillane Field. A good group on here for a Red Friday night. 2-1. Marcano fouls one straight back to the cage. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No more activity in the bullpen for Orleans, but somebody is up. Can't tell who it is from the Raptor cage. Marcano looks on, 2-2. Just misses downstairs, and a full count to Julio Marcano, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that pitch was right on the inside corner, maybe just a tad low, but with 2 strikes, I mean, that awfully looked close to Marcano being rung up for strike 3.
Swanson looks in, his 3-2 home. Swinging a miss, Marcano down with a swinging strikeout. Back-to-back Ks to open up the 5th inning. And up comes Jack Moss with 2 outs and the base is empty.
It's a live fastball coming out of the arm of Swanson, and when you combine that with a changeup that just really dives down into the dirt, I mean, no wonder it can be tough to pick up when you're in the box.
Moss 1 for 9 in this early season. Left-handed batter. Looks towards Swanson, opening offering. Misses inside. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Wareham 2, Orleans 1. Top 5 bases empty, 2 outs. And Swanson has been terrific. Coming into this game, Gareth, we talked about how the pitching staff is one of the weaknesses of Wareham. 1-0. Swing and a miss. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. But so far, the 2 pitchers we've seen in Jonathan Brand and Matt Swanson have been lights out. They haven't surrendered a hit.
Yeah, it's been definitely a complete change, given that Wareham's their team ERA through 3 games is 4.85.
1-1 to Moss. Strike on the outside part of the plate. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack Moss, a single against Katuitt. Came around to score in that game. His first single as a Firebird. 1-2. And he swings and cranks one right at us. Misses foul. Gareth, why is your glove not in?
That's the ball I was worried about. Luckily, that wasn't really close, but actually, no, that was close.
What do you mean?
That was close.
That's the closest we've gotten. That came at us fast. 1-2. Another one towards us. This one a little more straight back. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If anything, the Firebirds fans here along this third base side in the bleachers, they have to be careful with Jack Moss trying to go opposite field here.
2 outs, bases empty, top of the 5th. Wareham 2, Orleans 1. 1-2 to Moss. Checks his swing and takes strike 3. That will do it. 3 up, 3 down. Matt Swanson strikes out the side. We're halfway home here at Spillane Field, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Wareham Gatemen 2, the Orleans Firebirds 1, here on your Orleans Firebirds Radio Network.
And fans, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Curry College. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including 5th-year master's programs at www.curry.edu. Tonight's game is also sponsored by the 99 Restaurants. The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served hot, buttered, or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal. And this game is also sponsored by Milton Cat. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit www.miltoncat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Thank you so much, Gareth. New pitcher on the mound for Orleans, bottom of the 5th inning. Wareham 2, Firebirds 1. And it's the right-handed pitcher, Jack Philby, rising junior, one of 3 UCLA pitchers in this lineup. Temporary player so far, hasn't pitched since May 21st, 2021. Was an All-American, academic All-American with UCLA his freshman year in 2020. And this past season had a 9 ERA and just 7 innings of work. Didn't pitch much for the Bruins, and an opportunity to show what he's got in front of some scouts here at Wareham.
Yeah, Jack Philby came on in the game on Monday against Chatham, and he did pitch an inning. He did give up a home run. It was a booming home run off the bat of Caden Price, the talented freshman from Clemson. But it was an inning with 1 walk and a strikeout, and so here he is making his second appearance of the summer for Orleans, and he'll look to keep this lead down at 1, or the deficit at 1 for the Firebirds.
Well, Jake Somm was terrific yesterday, one of the relievers from UCLA, and Jack Philby trying to do the same today. Bottom of the 5th, and he'll face Cade Kern, a right-handed batter, to open things off. 8, 9, 1 spots in the bottom of the 5th. Wareham 2, Orleans 1. Firebirds on the road against this Western Division opponent. Opening offering. Swinging a ground ball down the third baseline, foul. Scooped up by the third baseman Blackwell, but it hits the gravel. And gravel is deadening baseballs down the foul lines, Gareth. It's not something that moves the ball along.
I mean, this is unlike anything I've never seen. I've never seen a gravel infield by any means.
0-1 on its way. Misses upstairs. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. A gravel infield with a dirt home plate. It's quite the combination.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a very strange combination, if you ask me.
Philby kicks high, 1-1. Swinging a foul straight back over towards the John H. Wild press box here at Spillane Field, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Flag and right is quiet. As Orleans nip it at the heels, 1-2. Low, and will lay off the breaking ball is Cade Kern. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kern 2 for 9 on the season. Sophomore out of Archibald. Was 2 for 4 yesterday as he swings at the 2-2, loops it down the right field line, and it bounces fair. Rounding first on his way to second. No, Kern puts on the brakes, and he'll head back to the bag. Well, he put that one in no man's land down the right field line, and there's 1 on to open up the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, had some side spin on that one, and it just landed fair. May have even hit the chalk, just right on the edge of the outfield, edge of the infield, I should say, and just a little bloop single. And so for Wareham, that's going to be their first base runner since the second, pardon me.
So with 1 on and nobody out, it'll be Cody Jeffries, the left-handed batter. Kern takes his lead at first in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch, puts the bunt down, pulls it back. I've already seen Gillimetzar today, a ball 4 call in which he threw down to second, had Justin Williams by a mile. So Wareham knows a little bit about the arm of the catcher from USC. And let's see if they want to test it again here with Cade Kern. Wareham 2, Orleans 1. Bottom 5, Philby's 1-0. Fastball finds the zone for a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Cody Jeffries. Jeffries took a walk back in the second, was left stranded. He was that last base runner you mentioned, Gareth, before the single by Cade Kern. Kern with a sizable lead at first. Philby's 1-1. Swinging a foul back to the screen. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Firebirds at 2-1. Wareham getting their first win of the young season yesterday. A 7-1 win, on Wednesday. 7-1 win over YD. The 1-2 on its way. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Gilliment's throw down to second. Sprinkle applies the tag, but it's not in time. They get the strikeout, but Kern does take a base. And there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, it was a good throw by Gillimet, but I think Jordan Sprinkle was just too late getting over to second base, and he kind of had to dive over just to make sure that ball didn't get into center field. He had to just make the catch, and I think it was going to be tough to try and dive and then make the tag on Kern all in one motion. Now, Wareham has a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
Lefty Jim Jarvis looks on. Throw back to second. Back with a head first slide is Kane Kern. Kern stole 9 bases in freshman season with Archibald. Jim Jarvis, the leadoff man, looking to bring him home. First pitch to the lefty, and he swings and cranks one up the middle into center field. On a hop for the center fielder, Thomas. Stopping at third is Kern. Throw in is slowly rolling through the middle of the infield, and coming home is Kern. On to second goes Jarvis. Thomas's throw missed the cutoff man, and everybody was kind of watching it roll towards the third base line, and Cade Kern said, I'm going to take home. Kind of an odd play, Gareth, and it ends up in a run.
Yeah, the throw, it was not a good throw from the center fielder Thomas, way up the third base line. And the cutoff man, as you mentioned, Jack Moss, who should be there, he wasn't really there out behind the mound. And so that ball just rolled where Garrett Guillemette had to come from home and pick that ball all the way up along the third base line. And with nobody covering home, easily scoring his Kern to make it a 2-run advantage now for Wareham.
Right-handed batter Cade Fergus looks on and takes the ball low. Guillemette with the block. So Wareham gets a run, and they add a little bit of cushion to their lead, leading Orleans 3-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. Right-handed batter Cade Fergus had a solo home run to right center his last time up. Jarvis leads at second. He goes. The pitch is low for a ball. The throw to third in plenty of time. And Jarvis is thrown out by Garrett Guillemette for the second out of the bottom of the 5th.
Perfect throw by Guillemette. Right on the base. Blackwell didn't even have to really move his glove to make the tag. That's a big out. Takes away another potential insurance run for Wareham.
Guillemette with a smile on his face as he puts the mask back on. A pretty throw to pick up the second out and clear the bases. Philby looks on, his 2-0 home. In there for a strike, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Garrett Guillemette has been terrific so far. You mentioned it, Gareth. He almost had Cade Kern at second base. The sprinkle there a little late, and in plenty of time had Jarvis coming to third. 2-1. Swinging a looper down the right field line. Over towards some storage containers. Here at Spillane Field, and the count even up 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So they're going to rule that Jarvis, they're going to rule that a hit, and then an error on Ryland Thomas, which allows Kern to score. No RBI for Jarvis.
They're keeping score at home. Here comes a 2-2. Misses low. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. So an unearned run won't go against Jack Philby, and I think rightfully so. Full count, bases empty. Wareham 3, Orleans 1, bottom 5. 3-2. Misses inside. Down to first goes Cade Fergus. And there's 1 on with 2 out. So up comes the sophomore from Alabama, Owen Diodati. Solo shot on the first pitch he saw from Hayden Thomas back in the first inning and struck out against Thomas in the third. Philby with a 2-out walk keeps the 5th inning alive. Wareham with already 1 run across. Orleans trying to keep it that way. Opening offering to the left-handed batter. And he swings and hits one on the ground up the middle. Sprinkled the shortstop to his left, slips, throws to first across his body, not in time. Sprinkle thought about going to second. His back foot came out from under him on this gravel at Spillane Field. He had to go quickly to first, and Owen Diodati beat him out. An infield single, and there's 2 on with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Jordan Sprinkle, nobody covering second base on that ball hit up the middle. I think Young and Sprinkle, they both converged for that same ball. With no one covering third, Sprinkle had to make a tough throw on the run to first, and I thought they had him out actually there, Carlo, but first base umpire ruling otherwise.
Right-handed batter Justin Williams in. He swings at the first pitch, sends it in the air to right center. Thomas going back. This ball playable for the center fielder. Probes to his left and makes the catch. Well, Wareham brings a run across on a throwing error by the center fielder, Thomas. Cade Kern able to score, but 2 are left stranded in the 5th. 3 hits, 2 left aboard. It's Wareham 3, Orleans 1 as we head to the 6th inning here at Spillane.
Let's take you around the Cape, little score update here as we are entering the 6th at Spillane Field. Chatham Anglers on the road against the Brewster Whitecaps. Whitecaps leading 5-2. They're in the last of the 7th. Katuitt on the road against YD. Kettleers with a 16-5 lead. That is the score, 16-5, as they are in the bottom of the 8th at Red Wilson Field. Falmouth on the road against Hyannis from McKeon Park. They're in a tie, 2-2 right now, heading into the bottom of the 7th. And then Bourne on the road against Harwich from White House Field. Bottom 5, Bourne 3, Harwich 1. And so that's your Around the Cape score update here on our broadcast.
16-5.
Yeah, Kettleers, I think they were just a little bit upset about losing to Orleans yesterday, Carlo.
Well, we will see YD twice in a row.
And we'll have a little home and home with the Red Sox beginning tomorrow. So we'll be on the road at Red Wilson Field tomorrow at 5 p.m. and then back here at Eldridge on Sunday for a 5:30 p.m. special start time. So make sure you stay tuned for that this weekend against the YD Red Sox.
Top of the 6th inning getting going. Wareham 3, Orleans 1. Right into batter. Benjamin Blackwell looks on. Opening offering is low. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. 8-9 one-hitters. And the top of the 6th for the Firebirds. Blackwell, Guillemette, and then Sprinkle. Wareham picking up a run in the bottom of the 5th to extend their lead to 2. 1-0 to the righty. And he checks his swing, but not able to hold up in time. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Blackwell 0 for 3 so far this season. Temporary player trying to earn a permanent roster spot. Was all Atlantic 10 first team. 1-1. Off the outside for a ball, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Blackwell made that all Atlantic first team alongside Firebird Chase DeLauder. 2-1. And he swings and fouls it straight back off the end of the bat. Count evens up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blackwell's only other game he played was against Chatham on Monday in the 6-3 loss at Veterans Field. Sun's starting to set somewhere. We can't see it with all the clouds here at Spillane. I think it's behind us. 2-2. Swinging a little blooper down the right field line in foul territory, running over the first baseman Despena, and he runs out of real estate. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overcast day. It's warm, though, because of the humidity.
It is humid, Carlo, yeah.
For us California boys, this is new. Kind of like it, though.
We're getting used to it by now, that's for sure. This is our 3rd week on the Cape. We arrived a couple weeks before the season started.
Here comes the 2-2 to the righty, Blackwell. And checks his swing again, and unable to put the brakes on in time, and there's 1 out in the top of the 6th. 4th strikeout in a row for Matt Swanson.
Yeah, Swanson just dealing right now. Hard fastball, and really the secondary stuff is just mixing up these Orleans hitters. They're not getting a real good read whatsoever right now, and they didn't really get a good read whatsoever against Brandt early on.
Right-hander Guillemette swings at the first pitch he sees, grounds it right back to Swanson. The pitcher takes 3 steps forward, gloves it, and lobs to first for out number 2. So Guillemette down on 1 pitch. And Matt Swanson will now face Jordan Sprinkle, who's been the man of the night so far for the guys in white. 2 stolen bases, an absolute gem at shortstop, taking away a hit. And the only run of the game. Wareham 3, Orleans 1. Top 6, 2 outs, bases empty. Opening offering, swing and a miss. And the count, no balls and 1 strike to Sprinkle. Wareham team getting their first win of the season on Wednesday. Looking to continue the momentum. 0-1. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes. And while Orleans, the only team to play yesterday, a win against Catuit in which they took advantage of some poor pitching by the Kettleers. But today, this Wareham staff has been on their stuff. 0-2. Sprinkle just gets the end of the bat on it as he fouls it back to the screen. Well, with Sprinkle and Young in the lineup, Garrett, this is one of the more dangerous lineups in all of the Cape Cod, but these 2 guys won't be here for long. And so if you're the Firebirds, you want to take advantage of every time they're in the lineup. Swanson's 0-2 home. Misses low and away. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, like you talked about, their time is limited. Sprinkle and Young, they don't have too much time left here on the Cape. And we won't know if they're going to return, so you got to be able to capitalize when they're here.
1-2. Strike 3 at the knees. That will do it for the top of the 6th. 6 have come to face Matt Swanson. 5 have struck out. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Wareham Gatemen 3, the Orleans Firebirds 1 here at Spillane Field in Wareham. Welcome back to Wareham. Gatemen leading the Firebirds 3-1. Jack Philby, the right-handed pitcher out of UCLA, remaining out there for this bottom of the 6th inning. He'll face Ted Burton, Jimmy Crooks, and Angelo Despena. So far, Gareth, it has been a struggle for the offense of Orleans, and Wareham doing a good job of capitalizing on some mistakes by the Firebirds.
Yeah, Gatemen pitching with 6 hitless thrown. Firebirds unable to have gotten 1 hit yet. They've gotten the base runner on just via the 1 walk. Jordan Sprinkle using his speed to steal second, steal third, and then eventually score on a ground out by Connor Cox. But other than that, they have been awfully quiet. Credit to Gatemen, and they're going to need some spark heading into these final 3 innings.
Right-handed batter Ted Burton swings at the first pitch, skies it up the elevator shaft, over to the left side, shallow left field. Shortstop Sprinkle on the back pedal, sets his feet, makes the catch. And on 1 pitch, there's 1 out. Good way to start for Philby. That ball went straight up. And there's 1 away with the bases empty for Jimmy Crooks, the left-handed batter. Crooks on the wrong end of a highlight as he grounded 1 up the middle his last time up. And Jordan Sprinkle robbed him of a big hit. First pitch to him. Takes a strike at the knees. And the count, no balls and 1 strike. Wareham, Orleans 1. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here at Spillane Field, Orleans traveling about an hour. Farthest west you can go, 0-1. Swinging a foul straight back. Philby quickly ahead of the count, no balls, 2 strikes. We are far from Eldridge Park here at Wareham across the bridge. 45 miles away. Philby kicks high, 0-2. Misses upstairs. Crooks lays off the high fastball, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jimmy Crooks hit .287 at Manhattan College his freshman year. 1-2 his way. High again, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. After these last 2 pitches, though, Gareth, you see Garrett Gillimet nod his head in approval. He likes where Philby's putting this ball.
Yeah, he's not missing by a whole lot. These are good misses. These are misses you want to entice these hitters to try and chase to induce weak contact.
2-2. Swinging a fly ball into right, and that ball is gone. Off the bat of Jimmy Crooks. He sends 1 into the night sky and over the fence in right. And Wareham has added to their lead once again. It's now 4-1 Gatemen after the solo home run from Jimmy Crooks, the 3rd solo home run of the game by the Gatemen.
Yeah, Crooks got a pitch down low, and he just got underneath it. Big uppercut swing, and boy, that had a lot on it. Plenty way out. And the long ball hurting Orleans tonight.
First pitch to lefty Despena. He checks his swing, does not go around. And the count 1 ball, no strikes. That ball got out of there in a hurry. Connor Cox, the right fielder, didn't pay too much attention to it. Turned his head, watched it fly over the fence. Philby looks on after giving up the home run, 1-0. Misses upstairs, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Jack Philby giving up the home run in his last outing to Caden Grice. And a home run here, 2-0. swinging a foul back. And he was looking good, Garrett. Retired Burton on one pitch. Got out of a jam in the 5th. But Wareham just able to take advantage. It's not a super short porch and right. It's 330 out there. But all the home runs have gone over the fence. 2-1. Strike at the knees. And they count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I tell you, Carlo, I know you said 330, but I think from our view, and with the way Wareham's been hitting, it don't look 330 out there. That's for sure.
More like 230. Philby peeks over the top of the glove. 2-2 home. Swinging a line shot into left center field towards the gap. Rounding first. On his way to second is Despena. He's going to stop there. Thought about going for 3 into the deepest part of the ballpark here at Spillane Field. A double by Angelo Despena. And there's a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th for Wareham.
Got an outside fastball, and Despena just takes it where the pitch was. Left center field, just a frozen rope. And with nobody out there in left center field, I thought maybe for a chance he would turn the corner and try for 3. But really no risk of doing that. Just sits there up with a runner in scoring position for Kern.
Right-handed batter Cade Kern, opening offering. And he swings and wraps one into center field. This one hangs up there and drops in front of Hayden Thomas. On to third goes Despena. He was waiting to see if Thomas had a chance at that baseball. We've already seen Ryland double up one Wareham hitter today. 3 straight hits, and all of a sudden the Wareham Gatemen have runners to the corners and 1 out, as up comes Cody Jeffries, the 9-hole hitter. A home run, a double, and a single, and Kelly Nicholson is going to come out and take the baseball from Jack Philby. That will do it for the bottom of the 6th. We'll step aside and come right back. Pitching change for Orleans. And with runners to the corners and 1 out, it's the Wareham Gatemen 4. The Orleans Firebirds 1. Firebirds trying to keep this a 3-run game here at Wareham. Welcome back to Spillane Field. Carlo Jimenez alongside my partner Gareth Kwok, where it's the Wareham Gatemen 4, the Orleans Firebirds 1. Runners at the corners, 1 out, bottom of the 6th, and a new pitcher on the mound. Gareth, it's Connor Housley out of Tennessee. What do we know so far about Connor?
Connor, 6'4", 200 from Tyrone, Georgia. And this season for the Volunteers, he received his first action of his college career out of the bullpen for the Omaha-bound Volunteers. Of course, now Tennessee has been eliminated, but he didn't really pitch a whole lot of innings at all in 12 appearances. And had a 3.48 ERA in 10 1/3 innings, had 14 strikeouts over 6 walks. But what you're going to see from Housley is he's going to throw at about a 3/4 arm slot. He's got a low to mid-90s fastball. We'll sit around 91, 94. That changeup, though, is one of his better pitches. That will sit around low 80s. And he does have a hard slider as well that runs in the high 70s, low 80s.
Yeah, Housley appeared for Orleans against Chatham on Monday. Went 2 innings, gave up a run, faced 7 and struck out 2. And looked really good in that outing. And he's going to need a couple of big outs here. It's the lefty Cody Jeffries with Despena at third, Kern at first. Already a run in on a solo home run by Jimmy Crooks. And Wareham looking for more in the bottom of the 6th inning. Housley looks on. Righty on lefty, the opening offering. Misses high. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Gareth, Housley does a pretty good job of hiding the ball right before he throws it. Keeps it behind his head, up the side of his body, and then releases at the last moment.
Yeah, he just hides that ball right at the hip and then kind of releases it off his ear a little bit, you could say.
Comes a 1-0. Ball misses high. And as a former superstar baseball player yourself, how does that affect you in the box when you see that ball a little late?
Well, that's, first off, a generous title that you gave me there, but it can be tough, especially now that you got the lights coming on. And for Jeffries, it shouldn't be too much of a problem because he is a good contact hitter, though.
Don't downplay yourself. 2-0. Strike at the knees. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. At first leads Kern. At third, Despina. Bottom of the 6th. And Wareham leading 4-1 over the Orleans Firebirds. Two-one, runner goes. The throw is a strike. The throw down to second in the dirt. And in safely is Cade Kern. So the second stolen base of the ball game for Cade Kern, who has picked 2 off Garrett Gilliman, and now 2 in scoring position and 1 out, and the infield will move in for the Firebirds.
Yeah, you got to play this infield in. You got to keep this lead down at 3, or else this one might be on the verge of getting out of hand here.
Kern at second. Despina at third. 2-2. So we're going to foul straight back. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Orleans teetering on the edge of this one blown open. And Connor Housley out of Tennessee trying to keep it within arm's reach. Housley exhales. 2-2. Strike 3 at the knees. Down goes Jeffries. A big strikeout from Housley, and there's 2 away.
Nice slider by Housley that just wrapped around back to the inner part of the plate. I don't think Jeffries was looking for something soft. He was looking for something, a hard fastball. So good job by Housley to get a big strikeout.
So with 2 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 6th, it will be the leadoff man, the lefty Jim Jarvis. Opening offering. And he swings and cranks one right towards the second baseman, Young. Takes it knee high, throws to first in time for the out. Connor Housley does his job, picks up 2 big outs, and gets out of the inning. 1 run in on a solo shot by Jimmy Crooks, but the Wareham Gatemen leave 2 on. 3 hits, 2 left aboard. We'll head to the 7th inning. Gareth Kwok will take us the rest of the way. The Wareham Gatemen leading the Orleans Firebirds 4-1 on your Firebirds radio network.
Top 7, Gatemen 4, Firebirds 1. Here on the Birds Broadcast Network, Gareth Kwok alongside Carlo Jimenez. Top 7, the Firebirds are hitless through 6 innings. And the 2, 3, and 4 hitters now, Ryland Thomas, Connor Cox, and Jace Young have a job to do to try and spark a little rally here. Down 3 with 3 innings remaining here from Wareham. Ryland Thomas, left-handed hitter from USC, stands in against the righty Matt Swanson. And the first pitch is down low for ball 1. Swanson, who has faced 6 hitters, and he has retired all 6, including 5 strikeouts. 1-0. Thomas takes one in the dirt. Count now 2-0 to Ryland, who is 0 for 2 today. He struck out back in the first inning, and then he popped out to the shortstop in the 4th. Again, Wareham with a combined no-hitter so far through 6 innings. Although Orleans has been able to tack on the run back in the 4th. The 2-0. Thomas takes a fastball on the outside corner. There's a called strike. 2-1 to Rylan Thomas. To 1 pitch, swing and a fly ball along the left field line. That one going to go out of play, well foul. And so now the count will go to 2-2. Jonathan Brand, who had 4 strikeouts. Swanson with 5 strikeouts. 2-2 pitch. Thomas in on the hand, slow roller past the mound. Coming in is the shortstop Jeffries. Charges, throws, not in time. Rylan Thomas beats it out. An infield hit for the USC outfielder. Got a fastball in on the hands, just had to put it in play. And he was able to just squeak it past the pitcher, Swanson. And just soft enough where the shortstop Jeffries could not make the play. And the leadoff man is aboard here in the 7th, exactly what Orleans needs.
Garrett, that was beautiful execution of the announcer's jinx. Got to give it to you.
And with that, that is the first hit of the ball game for Orleans here on this Friday night. Here's Connor Cox, right-handed hitter from Long Beach State, and the first pitch is up high for ball 1. So again, not pretty by any means for Orleans on offense. They've had to work some small ball to get that 1 run via a couple stolen bases as Cox rips a ground ball through the right side into right field for a base hit past the second baseman Jarvis. And just like that, the first 2 men are aboard here in the 7th for Orleans. And the tying run will come to the plate. And not a better guy to perhaps tie it up with 1 swing of the bat than Jace Young.
Jace has had some nice plays this season. He had the home run taken away from him at Chatham, but he's really yet to have a game in which we felt like, Jace Young left his mark on this game, and this is an opportunity for him to leave his mark on this game with a big fly here.
21 home runs in the regular season for Texas Tech. Still looking for his first of the summer as the right-hander Swanson will step off the slab and reset. Rylan Thomas at second, Connor Cox at first. Best chance for Orleans on offense all night. We await the first pitch. And it's a fastball outside, ball 1. Jace today has lined out to second, and he has flown out to center. He's 0 for 2. A look over at second. Once and twice by Swanson. The 1-0, it's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 now. The Orleans second baseman.
A lot of speed on the base pass, Gareth. Let's see if maybe Orleans tries something.
The power hitter's coming up now for the Firebirds with Chase DeLauder on deck. 1-1. And a fastball that is right down the middle. About belt high for a called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jace Young. Swanson gets the sign at the belt, kicks and throws. 1-2, swing, and a foul off the glove of the catcher, Crooks. And the count 1-2, it remains. Jace Young, selected for Team USA, the collegiate team this summer, along with Jordan Sprinkle. They'll be off out of Orleans in a bit. The 1-2. Fastball inside corner, got him looking. Young thought that pitch was inside as he sort of backed up off the plate. Instead, he's rung up by the home plate umpire, and there's a big strikeout for Swanson, his 6th of the night. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. So with 2 on and 1 out, here's Chase DeLauder. Wareham 4, Orleans 1 here in the top of the 7th. First pitch to DeLauder. And that one at the knees, a called strike. 0-1. DeLauder tonight has popped out to short back in the 2nd, and he has struck out looking back in the 5th. This is his 2nd time against Matt Swanson, the right-hander from Lehigh. 0-1. Swing and a foul back to the backstop. And now quickly 0-2 is Swanson against DeLauder.
All this power in the lineup, and Just been waiting here early. See if Chase DeLauder can get a big hit.
Oh and 2. Swanson trying to get another strikeout. The pitch. Chopper the short. Jeffries will field on the long hop. Underhand flip to second for one. Turn to first. Not in time. So Cox is retired at second. DeLauder able to beat it out at first. Advancing to third is Hayden Thomas. So runners at third and first now with 2 down. And Julio Marcano will dig in and try and keep the inning alive.
Marcano, since that home run on opening night, 0 for his last 9. He would love a big hit here.
Can Julio Marcano come in and drive in additional run for Orleans? First pitch, breaking ball way outside, ball 1. Marcano, who lined out to left back in the second inning. Terrific play by the left fielder Diodati to rob him of a base hit. And then he struck out back in the 5th. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Marcano. On the ground to first. This is a foul ball down the right field line. Despina is playing right on the bag as he's holding DeLauder. So if that one stayed fair, that probably would have been a ground out to end the inning. Count even up at 1 to Julio Marcano. Firebirds need some runs to get back into this one. 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to the shortstop Jeffries. Underhand toss to second for the force out, and that will retire the side. Orleans, they pick up their first 2 hits of the ball game, but they are unable to strand home, or they are unable to bring home any runs as they go scoreless in the top of the 7th. We will now move to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here from Spillane Field. It's Wareham 4, Orleans 1. Connor Housley will go back to the mound. But first, let's have a quick report from our sideline reporter, Noah Searson. Noah?
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. I actually headed down to the pen to investigate kind of what was going on. You had Housley coming on right here, but it seems like we're going to have one of 2 guys come out of the pen next, and let's face it, the Firebirds need some great pitching out of the pen. It's either going to be Michael Polk, who got the win against Harwich, pitched 2 scoreless innings on opening day, or get this one, Zach Morris. If you haven't heard the name yet, it's because he just got activated in the wee hours of this morning. Came over from Arkansas, where he had 16 appearances, but only 15 innings, 19 strikeouts, 8 earned runs. He has great stuff. He's a big lefty, and Coach Troop told me they're not afraid to release him, even though he just got activated today. So if it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, expect Morris. Otherwise, it seems as though Michael's going to be the next one out of the pen. But first, we got some action to Housley, and I'll send it back to you guys in the booth to see how Connor does.
All right, thank you so much for that, Noah, as we are now in the bottom of the 7th. Wareham 4, Orleans 1. It's been 3 solo home runs from the Wareham offense. It has propelled their offense so far in this one. Runs by Cade Fergus, Owen Diodati, and Jimmy Crooks. The long ball of Wareham hurting Orleans so far on this Friday as Connor Housley, first pitch to Fergus, is taken for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Fergus, Diodati, and Williams, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters dewed up against the right-hander from Tennessee. 1-0 is a fastball at the knees, a called strike. 1-1. So Fergus, as I mentioned, who hit a home run, he's 1 for 2. Home run, a solo shot in the first, fly out to right back in the 3rd, and then a walk back in the 5th. Takes a pitch down low for ball 2, 2-1. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball that is outside. Ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike. Housley, who's working from the windup, deals a 3-1 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 4. Just off the inside. Pretty close pitch from Housley, and now he surrenders the leadoff man aboard with nobody out here in the 7th. So here's Diodati now. 2 for 3 today. Solo home run in the first, a strikeout in the third, and an infield hit in the fifth. First pitch is outside. Man, not by much. Housley's not missing by a whole lot. 1-0 to the left-handed hitting left fielder from Alabama. From the set, 1-0. And on the ground, right side, Young to his left. His only play is to first. He'll retire Diodati at first with an accurate throw. Over to second goes Cade Fergus. And so a runner in scoring position now with one down, bottom of the seventh. And this will now bring up Justin Williams, the third baseman from Penn State. Williams tonight, 1 for 3. A single in the first, a strikeout in the third, and then a fly out to center back in the fifth. Tall right-handed hitter facing off against Connor Housley. First pitch on the way is on the outside corner with the breaking ball, called strike one. 0-1 to Justin Williams. Williams, who led the Nittany Lions in hits, he was second on the team in average and in home runs. Takes a 0-1 pitch down low. 1 ball, 1 strike now. He hit .300 with 5 homers and 23 runs batted in on the spring. In the Big Ten Conference for Penn State. A look over at second. Here's the 1-1. And the pitch just on the outside corner, a called strike. Thought for a second maybe the home plate umpire would rule out the ball, given some of these corner pitches. About half have been called a strike, half have not been called a strike, wherever you call it, and wherever you dot it up. It's 1-2 now to Williams with 1 out and a runner on second. Here it is, and it catches a piece. Looks like it caught the knob of the bat from Williams as he started to go around. And so luckily for Orleans, it does not go as a hit by pitch. It will go as a foul ball. Count remains 1-2 to Williams. Fergus with his lead at second. Chase Young holding him on. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a pitch down low and outside. Williams able to chase. 2 away now here in the 7th. So for Connor Housley, that's strikeout number 2 on the night for the Tennessee right-hander. And here comes Ted Burton for Wareham. Gatemen leading 4-1. A 3-run lead here in the last of the 7th. First pitch to Burton is a high fastball, too high, ball 1.
Housley put a lot on that one. That one really snapped the glove of Guillemette.
He sure is rearing back to try and add a little bit of extra velocity on his pitches. Burton is 0 for 2. A walk back in the first, a strikeout swinging in the fourth, and then a pop out to the shortstop in the 6th. 1-0 pitch is down low, blocked nicely by the catcher Guillemette. 2-0, Burton ahead. Firebirds in the 8th will have the bottom of the order. Jack Moss, Benjamin Blackwell, and Garrett Guillemette. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters dude up and try and get things going. 2-0. Burton swings, high pop-up, and this one is going to be a souvenir behind the John H. Wild press box, directly behind home plate. It's 2-1 to Ted Burton. An all Big Ten Conference first-team selection who played a lot of second base for the Wolverines this spring. Came in as a third baseman. 2-1 pitch. Ball 3. A throw down to second by Guillemette, not in time, as getting back safely with a dive is Fergus. Count 3-1.
Guillemette has been active. He's throwing the ball a lot behind home plate, keeping guys on, trying to throw runners out. Been a busy night for him.
Yeah, Guillemette has been able to throw out one runner. He was able to throw out Jim Jarvis back in the 5th. 3 balls and a strike. Here it is. Good breaking ball, pulling the string as Housley as it catches the knees for a called strike 2. Full count now to Ted Burton with Jimmy Crooks, the power hitting catcher from Oklahoma, on deck for Wareham. Gatemen 4, Firebirds 1. We're in the last of the 7th. Runner on second, 2 outs. Housley, a couple looks over at second. Throws in the dirt. Nice block by Guillemette to keep that in front of him. But that pitch not close. And that might be it for Connor Housley, as here comes manager Kelly Nicholson. So when we come back, we'll have ourselves a pitching change. Runners on second and first with 2 down. Firebirds down by 3. The Gatemen are leading 4-1, and we'll be right back here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Pitching change for the Firebirds. Runners on second and first, 2 down. We're in the last of the 7th. Gatemen leading 4-1 over your Orleans Firebirds, and we have ourselves a pitching change. In charge of trying to get the last out of the 7th will be the left-hander Zach Morris, rising sophomore from Arkansas, who was just activated last night. The left-hander, 6'3", 220 from Cabot, Arkansas. Second-year freshman from the #1 overall team in the country. He did not pitch a ton of innings this season for the Razorbacks. 16 appearances, had a 4.80 ERA, 15 innings, 19 strikeouts over 6 walks. And what you're going to see from Morris tonight is a low to mid-90s fastball. That'll touch around 91 to 94. And he does have a big curveball that will range around the mid-70s, high 90s, or mid-70s, high 70s. And he does also have a changeup, which he does not throw very often. So he's basically a 2-pitch guy, and he will be in charge of trying to get out another left-handed hitter. It's going to be Jimmy Crooks, who will face off against Morris. And again, like our sideline reporter Noah Searson talked about, Carlo, just the lefty-on-lefty matchup that Kelly Nicholson is opting to go for here.
Yeah, Noah with some great insight down at the bullpen, and now Morris, who is activated thanks to our great Sue Horton at 2:46 a.m. today, is now pitching tonight.
Well, I don't think he was activated at that time. That was just when we got the notification from our general manager Sue Horton. Of course, Sue always doing a great job keeping us informed about player transactions, albeit at 2:45 in the morning. And
Sue
now
does not sleep.
here's Zach Morris here against Jimmy Crooks, the left-handed hitting catcher from Oklahoma. First pitch, pounds a fastball right down the middle. 0-1 to Crooks, who was able to tee off against Jack Philby back in the 6th inning, a solo home run. His first of the summer. A 1 pitch off the hands, popped up and foul onto the ceiling of the adjacent classroom building here at Wareham Middle School. And it's quickly 0-2. So it would be nice if Morris can maybe get a quick out here against Crooks and send the Firebirds back into their third base dugout. It's 0-2. Morris at the set. Runners on second and first, 2 down. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Nice block by Guillemette once again. He's been a rock behind that home plate tonight, Carlo. The University of Southern California catcher has He's made a couple of nice scoops and blocks and has not allowed a ton of balls to get past him and let them go to the backstop. Kate Fergus at second. Ted Burton at first. Morris at the stretch. Couple looks over at second. 1-2. And on the ground sharply the third. Blackwell to his left. He'll fire over to second for the force out in time to retire the side. No runs on no hits for Wareham. And they leave 2 stranded in the last of the 7th. On we go to the 8th. Firebirds offense has some work to do. It's Wareham 4, Orleans 1. Here on the Birds Broadcast Network. We'll be right back. Top 8 here from Spillane Field in Wareham. Hour drive from Orleans. The team has made the drive over off the Cape to Wareham. And the Gatemen lead 4-1 as we head to the 8th inning. Matt Swanson still in the game. He's facing off against the bottom of the Firebirds order. 7, 8, and 9 hitters as Jack Moss, left-handed hitting first baseman from Texas A&M, takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner, 0-1. A 1 pitch, fly ball to left field. Diodati backs up, now comes in to his right, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So Moss is retired on 2 pitches. And there's one away here in the 8th. Benjamin Blackwell digs in now. Right-handed hitter from Dayton, who stands in. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First pitch way outside, ball 1.
And it will go probably unnoticed, Gareth, but Blackwell in a nice play at third and that bottom of the 7th. That ball was scorched right at him. Cleanly got it to second base.
1-0. Swing and a miss. Blackwell very tardy on the fastball from Swanson, 1-1. Yeah, we've noticed a lot of ground balls hit tonight, and it's a very thick infield here at Spillane Field. The ball really slows down after it rolls through. 1-1 in the dirt. Scooped out by the catcher Crooks. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And I'm sure, a lot of these guys have played a ton of baseball in their life, but if you asked them, hey, have you ever played on gravel, I think the number would be pretty low.
Orleans will have a couple of opportunities to play at Wareham this season as Blackwell, 2-1 pitch down and in for ball 3. Firebirds, they need base runners. They just have 1 run on 2 hits tonight. Swanson at the set, 3-1. Fastball inside corner, a called strike 2, and the count will run full 3-2. On deck is Garrett Guillemette, the catcher from USC. Bottom of the order trying to do its part. 3-2 pitch from Swanson. And on the ground to second, settling his feet. Making the play is the second baseman, Jim Jarvis, for out number 2. So Blackwell is retired, and this will bring up Guillemette. Rylan Thomas and Connor Cox have the only hits of the ball game for Orleans, and they drove in They got their run not even on a base hit. It was an RBI ground out by Connor Cox. Guillemette swings at the first pitch, pops it up, first base side, foul ground. Despina has room, and he makes the catch just about 5 to 10 feet away from the fence. And that will retire the side. 1 pitch, 1 out. Swanson with a nice bounce back 8th inning. As he retires the Firebirds bottom of the order in order. 1, 2, and 3. We will head now to the bottom of the 8th here from Spillane Field. It's Wareham 4, Orleans 1. But now let's first send it off to our sideline reporter, Noah Searson, who has more. Noah?
Yeah, thanks, Garrett. So after that half inning, Zach Morris came in. He talked to Skip, basically asking the question any pitcher normally asks in this sort of situation: am I going back? And Kelly said emphatically, yes, you are. Now, this is kind of uncharted territory for Morris, who at Arkansas really only saw 1-2 batters every single appearance. So it'll be interesting to see really what he's made of, because he's got talent. He was just kind of backloaded on that absolutely loaded #1 ranked Razorback squad. Another thing to keep in mind, Kelly talked to me about it a little bit earlier, but if you don't remember, he wants his guys pumping in some changeups, pumping in some off speeds, because this Wareham squad has proved they can hit a fastball pretty darn well. They put 3 of them over the fence. So look for Zach Morris to stretch it out more than he usually has and hopefully mix it up with a little more off speed than we've seen tonight. Guys, back to you in the booth.
All right, thank you so much for that, Noah. Again, Zach Morris, I'm sure I'm sure Zach Morris was just desperate to get back on the mound. And I don't want to just face one hitter. I want another inning or so, and he's going to have a chance to keep this at a 3-run deficit. Wareham 4, Orleans 1 here from Spillane Field. Zach Morris remaining in the game from Arkansas, but so far it's been dominant pitching from the Gatemen. Give credit to the 2 pitchers tonight: Jonathan Brand from the Miami University of Ohio, and then Matt Swanson from Lehigh University. I mean, 2 pitchers from schools that you wouldn't scream, big baseball powerhouse, but these are guys that shined with their respective programs, and they're getting a chance to showcase themselves on the Cape and for Wareham, and they've done their part tonight, Carlo.
Yeah, took Orleans 6 innings to get a hit, and it has been a game where we talked about in the pregame, get to the bullpen. Orleans has been able to do so, and Brandon Swanson have been absolutely lights out.
So Zach Morris, the lefty, will face off against Wareham's bottom of the order. Angelo Despina, a left-handed hitter. Cade Kern and Cody Jeffries. So Despina and Jeffries, the lefties, as Guillemette, the catcher, will have a quick conversation with Morris just to go over the signs and make sure they're both on the same page. Zach Morris working from the windup here. He's going to face off against Despina. First pitch. Fastball a little bit inside. Ball 1. To the first baseman from Mercer. Overhead windup. 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside corner. There's a called strike 2. Or called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Despina's swing is his stance is awfully similar to Freddie Freeman's stance. His back is kind of hunched over, and he's got that bat resting along his shoulder. 1-1 pitch is down low, below the knees, 2-1. And Freddie Freeman with the Braves, he has that closed-in stance, kind of hunches over his back a little bit, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and that bat just starts bouncing up and down along that left shoulder. 2-1 pitch. Ooh. Power on power, swing and a miss from Despina on the fastball, and the count even up at 2. 2 big left-handers going at it here. You'd love to see it here in the Cape League. Morris wipes his hat, gets the sign from Guillemette. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Despina swings and misses on the fastball from Morris. Out number 1 here in the 8th. And for Zach Morris, his first strikeout of the summer. So here's Cade Kern now for Wareham. The Ohio State product, who's had a nice day at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. First pitch to Kern. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Kern out in front. 0-1 to the Buckeyes' rising sophomore. Kern, the number 3 overall player in the state of Ohio out of high school. And he takes a 0-1 pitch just a bit outside. Again, some of these pitches here, they look pretty good from our vantage point, Carlo. And, of course, we're not directly behind home plate, but that one looked like it caught the outside corner. Instead, called a ball. 1-1 to Kern. Here it is. Fastball, that one outside. 2 balls and a strike. So Kern, the number 3 overall player in the state of Ohio out of high school. He was the number 2 ranked outfielder according to Perfect Game. Collegiate baseball freshman All-American as he takes ball 3 down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Perfect Game All-American, all Big Ten second team selection. Just a very solid year for Kern. He swings at the 2-3-1 and lifts a high fly ball. Well struck to center field. Thomas going back to the wall, and he makes the catch. Backpedaling as he crashes up against the wall. Out number 2 here in the 8th as Ryland Thomas continues to make his case about why he's one of the best defensive outfielders on the Cape League.
Yeah, Ryland Thomas, Garrett, continues to impress. I mean, the last 2 nights, he has been terrific. A guy whose numbers didn't really jump off the page at USC, hit below 300, and stole about 9 bases, but man, does he look good this year.
Cody Jeffries, left-handed hitting shortstop from the University of San Diego, stands in against Zach Morris. And the first pitch. Fastball. Right down the middle. 0-1. To Jeffries.
Zach Morris hasn't pitched since April 22nd against Florida, but it does not look like it. He's been terrific so far.
Here's the 0-1 to Jeffries. Another fastball. That catches the outside corner. Called strike 2. Morris only pitched more than 1 inning twice in his 16 appearances at Arkansas. And if he can complete this inning here, he'll have an inning and a third already under his belt this summer. 0-2 to Jeffries. Fastball, outside corner, ball 1. Ooh. Almost the same exact spot that he got the strike 2 call on. And instead, he's going to have to try it again. 1-2 to Cody Jeffries. The shortstop is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball just outside, almost the same exact spot as he's trying to nip that outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Man, he's not missing by a whole lot, folks, on that outer half. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 out. The pitch, Jeffrey swings and fouls one straight back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Arkansas hoping that Zach Morris can become a little bit more involved in the bullpen for next season. Of course, Kevin Kopps had a terrific year for the Razorbacks. 2-2 pitch, fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 called, and the side is retired. A couple of strikeouts for Zach Morris in the bottom of the 8th, and it's a 1-2-3 8th for Wareham. We now move to the 9th. Wareham 4, Orleans 1. Last chance for the Firebirds here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top 9, last chance for Orleans here with Wareham leading 4-1 over the Firebirds, and the Gatemen closer will come in now, Devereaux Harrison, rising sophomore from Long Beach State University. Not a very big guy, 6 feet, 190 pounds from Vacaville, California, but boy, he had himself a heck of a season for the Dirtbags this year. In 18 appearances, a 1.57 ERA, he had 10 saves in 34 1/3 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts over just 12 walks. And opposing hitters just hit a .175 against the right-hander Harrison. He's going to face the top of the order for Orleans. Jordan Sprinkle swings and fouls one directly back. 0-1 to Jordan Sprinkle, who's been one of the lone bright spots on offense for the Firebirds. He scored the first run back north off a walk, a couple of stolen bases, and he came on in on an RBI ground out by Connor Cox. 0-1, swing and a miss. Another hard fastball past Sprinkle by Harrison, and the count now 0-2. Sprinkle, Thomas, and Cox. Last three hitters, or last chance for Orleans here. 0-2 pitch. Got him with the fastball. High fastball, swing and a miss. And Harrison picks up the strikeout, and there's one away here in the ninth. Harrison, who struck out 2 or more batters in 14 of his 18 appearances. I mean, he just knows how to strike out hitters. Faces off against the left-handed hitting Rylan Thomas. First pitch is down and in, ball 1. Rylan today is 1 for 3. A strikeout in the first, a pop out in the fourth, and then an infield hit in the 7th. Swings at the 1-0, and that one gets a piece of Thomas. Fouled. I think he bounced it off the dirt and may have caught the piece of his chest or so. He's all right, though. Count evened up at 1. Harrison from the windup, 1-1. Fastball just a bit outside. 2 balls and a strike. Harrison, a collegiate baseball freshman All-American. He's a future USA Collegiate Team selection as Thomas rolls one up the middle softly into center field for a base hit. A 1-out base runner for the Firebirds as Rylan Thomas continues to have himself a nice week here on the Cape. His second hit of the game. And if Connor Cox can reach, they would bring up Jace Young, who would represent the tying run for the Firebirds.
Dirtbag versus dirtbag right here.
Exactly right. A little friendly action between Harrison and Cox. We'll see who wins the battle. First pitch to Cox. The right-handed hitter takes a breaking ball down and in for a called strike 1. 0-1. You would think that Cox may have the scouting report on Harrison, but I think Harrison may also know what Cox likes as well at the plate. The 0-1. Breaking ball, high fly ball, well hit out into left center field. Long run for the center fielder, Fergus, and he can't get it. And it goes all the way to the wall. Thomas on the move. He is going to stop at third. Cox into second. And the tying run is going to come to the plate. Cox with a booming fly ball to left center. And the center fielder, Fergus, was shaded off towards right center. A long run far to his right to protect the gap in left center, and he could not make the high backhand catch. It's going to be a double for Connor Cox, and Jace Young will dig in with a chance to potentially tie up the score with one swing. Here's Young. Power on power here in the ninth. First pitch, Young takes outside with the fastball, ball 1. The Orleans offense with just 1 run, and prior to this inning, on 2 hits. But they have an opportunity here. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. On the fastball, 1-1 now to Jace Young. Third base coach Brendan Igerbrook telling Jace Young, keep the line moving. Do a job. Harrison gets the sign at the belt. 1-1. Swing and a foul. Catches a piece of your Crooks. And now Harrison ahead 1-2. Devereaux Harrison, the Wareham closer from Long Beach State. And he was the best closer in the Big West Conference. Was also recognized as the Big West Freshman Player of the Year. Led the conference with his 10 saves. Trying to seal the deal here. 1-2. Young, line drive, up the middle, diving stop by Jeffries on the hop to his left. Throws to first in time for the out. Sensational play by Cody Jeffries up the middle on a scorching hot ground ball. Fielded on a hop by Jeffries. Diving stop to his left. Got up and threw out Young in plenty of time. Ryland Thomas does score from third. So Young will get credit for an RBI ground out, but there are two down now. With a runner on third, that's Cox. And here's Chase DeLauder. First pitch, DeLauder swings, fouls it right back to the backstop. 0-1 to Chase DeLauder. So Jace Young picks up his 4th RBI of the year with that RBI ground out. Man, that could have been up the middle. 0-1 to DeLauder. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. DeLauder thought that was ball one. And it's a call that it's halfway been a ball. It's half been called a ball, half been called a strike. Firebirds down to their last strike. 0-2. Hit on the ground softly to short. This could do it. Jeffries fields it, throws to first, and that is the ball game. DeLauder grounds out. And the Firebirds, they made it interesting in the 9th. Tying runs came up to the plate. But instead, Orleans falls for the second time this summer. And it's a 4-2 win for Wareham. Wareham now 500 on the summer. They're 2-2. And Orleans, they fall to 2-2 as well on the summer with the loss tonight. So Orleans, again, falling 4-2. The offense just cannot get it going at all today. Just 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. Meanwhile, Wareham with 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. And just sensational pitching from Wareham tonight. Jonathan Brand with 4 innings, no hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Matt Swanson did an even better job with 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. And then Devereaux Harrison with the 1 inning in relief to close things out. Meanwhile, for Orleans, Hayden Thomas is going to get the loss. Unfortunately, he just had the rough first inning where he gave up the 2 solo home runs. And but instead, after that, he was superb. So he's going to finish the night with 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, with 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. And Jack Philby as well surrendered a couple of runs as well with 1 strikeout. And we're going to try and see if Noah Searson will find a way to get a player with somebody here on our sideline crew. So Orleans, again, this weekend, they will head on over to YD on Saturday at 5 p.m. We'll have our broadcast start at around 4:45. And then we will be back at home on Sunday, where Orleans will take on YD, a little home-and-home series against the Red Sox. So that should be fun. And meanwhile, we're going to try and get Noah Searson, I think we're going to try and get him on with Zach Morris here, left-hander from Arkansas. So Firebirds. Firebirds again falling to a record of 2-2. Firebirds with a 2-2 record, and We're going to bring on here Jordan Sprinkle at the University of UC Santa Barbara. Jordan, good game today. You had the run scored. You were able to use your speed a little bit early on in the game. Just talk about how you've been able to use your speed and your defense as well. You had a terrific play up the middle. Just talk about how you've been able to use that in your game.
Thank you. Yeah, my coach just talks about being aggressive, and I've been able to get extra bases, stealing, and obviously positioning and everything. Speed-wise, it helps. So, yeah.
Yeah, what was the message at the end of the game from Kelly Nicholson in regards to the tough night at hitting-wise against a good pitching staff from Wareham tonight?
Yeah, definitely. We trust the process. Not always going to come out and swing the bat, but I think we did a good job for the at-bats that we did have. Just got to get back to it, get back to practice, and have some fun.
What's going to be the key for tomorrow? This little home-and-home series against YD. What's it going to take for you guys to kind of get back into the win column here?
Just keep grinding, honestly. Very good arms that we're seeing and very good teams that we're playing. So I think just stay within ourselves, not try and do too much, and just go out and compete.
Have you ever played on the little gravel infield? I know you got your jersey kind of all a little dirty here, all the white. And is that something, a unique experience for you?
It was unique. Honestly, it played a lot better than what I expected it to play. Not, that it was a bad field or anything, but it was really good, and I was happy to play here.
Well, Jordan, good game tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow against YD.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Of course, yep. All right. Let's now go to Noah Sears, and he's standing by with left-hander out of Arkansas, Zach Morris. Noah, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. I'm standing next to Zach Morris, literally just activated today, new to the squad, but gets action right away. And Zach, I'll just start off by asking you, what was it like, getting to Orleans, hitting the ground, and getting to work right away tonight?
I mean, it's a great experience. I mean, I knew what I was going to be a part of once I got here, and being able to do well in this type of environment right off of a plane, I think it was yesterday, and it just felt good to be back out here again.
Well, and you were at a loaded squad at Arkansas, made 16 appearances, but most times you were out as for a batter or two batters, more in specialized roles. What was it like tonight, getting the one guy out, getting out of the jam, and then Kelly telling you you're going back out for the 8th inning?
It's just something I've been taught to do at Arkansas. I mean, just getting my out, make sure I take care of business. I mean, just don't worry about anything else. Just go out there and compete, make pitches.
And I know you're new to being in Orleans, literally, like I said, activated today. But what has it been like, interacting with the guys and kind of trying to build that chemistry, and also interacting with the skip, Kelly Nicholson, who is, so adored out here by all the fans and players and coaches alike?
I mean, all these guys, Kelly, the rest of the team, it's all filled with energy. I mean, as soon as I walked in, I could just feel the vibe that everybody's putting off, and it's just something like they all get along with each other, even though we don't really know each other. But as the season goes on, I know the chemistry's going to get better, and we're just going to keep getting closer and playing better.
Absolutely. Well, great outing tonight, Zach. I'll let you go. Thanks for your time. Guys, I'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks so much, Noah. Noah again standing by with left-hander out of Arkansas, Zach Morris. Players and coaching staff making their way off the field. And Carlo, just your final thoughts from this one on a tough loss against a Wareham pitching staff that, again, it came in with an ERA over 4.5, and they were able to shut down this Firebirds offense. They were hitless up. Firebirds offense was hitless up until the 6th inning, and they were able to do their job. The Wareham, at least, was. What was your takeaways?
Yeah, kind of a similar feeling to, I think, to the game in Chatham. Orleans striking out 11 times today, and Jonathan Brand and Matt Swanson, got to give them credit. I mean, they were absolutely terrific in this one. They kept this group hitless through 6 innings, and the Firebirds, they played it close. They played in this tight game. Kelly Nicholson has a good pitching staff. He has in the past, but the 2 losses so far this year, it has been a tough a couple of pitchers on the mound, and I think guys are still getting used to the wood bats, and that's why we see these low-scoring contests.
Indeed, it's their guys are still getting their opportunity. Their guys are still trying to figure out the wood bat, but then there are also some real good surprises. I think it's a pleasant surprise to see guys from schools that haven't, they weren't maybe in the NCAA tournament, and they're getting their opportunity to do so, especially for Wareham, for a guy like Swanson from Lehigh, and then you got a guy from Miami University. So that should be at least fun down the road to see if those guys pitch against them again. But it looks like Noah Searson is going to get our manager and our skipper, Kelly Nicholson, here on our broadcast, and we'll try and get one more last word with Skip before the team departs for the hour-long drive back to Orleans. And again, with the traffic, maybe it might be longer, but otherwise, again, Firebirds will be in action tomorrow at YD. First pitch at 5 p.m. Our broadcast will start at around 4:45, and we'll be back at Eldridge on Sunday at home at 5:30. But let's now send it to Noah Searson. Noah?
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. I'm alongside with the skip. A little bit of a tough loss tonight, but you had your moments in those middle innings, especially when Sprinkle got on base, stole second, stole third. Is that something you're going to try to do more of this season, especially when, maybe the bats aren't super hot in the game, trying to really grit out runs?
Well, Sprink's a good runner, so he's got a green light. It was great to see him steal a couple bags tonight, and then we had a nice ground ball to score a run. It was really a good baseball inning, and pulled this two within a run. I think it made it 2-1, and yeah, so you're going to see Sprink while he's here. You're going to see a lot of that.
And, we saw a couple pitchers tonight, including Zach Morris. I just talked to him, literally just activated. What did you see in the left-hander? Obviously, he didn't really see more than an inning at Arkansas, so that experience was kind of new to him. What did you see tonight, and what do you think you're going to get out of him this season?
Well, he looked super competitive out there. It was good velocity, good stuff, good command, and that's a really good breaking ball, I thought, tonight. So we're going to see a lot of Zach Morris out of our bullpen.
And finally, tonight the bats were a little cold. Like I said, how are you going to get them going? Because between, guys like Locklear, I know he didn't play tonight, or DeLauder, we're expecting a lot of home runs, a lot of power. We haven't really seen it thus far. So is there anything that you're going to, say to the team or try to do in practice, or is it just same old, the bats will get going eventually?
Yeah, they'll get going. It takes a little time. Really good arms every inning, and they're swinging wood. So it's a little bit different than swinging aluminum against Sunday guys and Tuesday guys in college. Those guys ran out some really good arms tonight with good velo, good stuff. So you got to tip your cap, man. Wareham played a little bit better than we did tonight.
Absolutely. That was the skip on the sidelines. Kelly, safe travels back to Orleans. Get something good to eat tonight. Sleep. YD tomorrow. But for now, I'll send it back to the booth. Finish up this broadcast, guys.
Thanks so much, Noah. That's, again, our manager, Kelly Nicholson. And that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. Again, Wareham with the win 4-2 over Orleans. We'll be back in action tomorrow at YD from Red Wilson Field. First pitch at 5 p.m. We'll have a pregame at around 4:45. But for my partner, Carlo Jimenez, I'm Gareth Kwok saying so long here from Spillane Field in Wareham. You've been listening to Orleans Firebirds baseball here on the Birds Broadcast Network. We will see you all tomorrow against YD.